What's the deal, my people? You know what it is, Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you with another one. Thank you for coming here. Number one place for the show from on all of YouTube. You know who it is. You know, your boy, the Don Tony Teflon, representing for all of you out there, everybody who comes out here every week. Let me just say thank you to everyone out here who supports the channel. Everybody shows the Don some love, calls in, leaves comments, watches the videos. You know, I do great on the front videos, probably better than just about anybody on YouTube. So I really appreciate that. Y'all trust me, trust what I have to say, and put it up in there. You know what I mean? That you like this channel and everything else by showing the support and everything else. We leave super chats and all that. I just want to make sure you understand how much that means to me. It really helps. It really helps. It really makes me feel good about myself and everything else when you do things like that. So let me just give a shout out to y'all straight up, all y'all people out here who's been rocking with me. You know what I mean? So what up to everybody up here? Let's go through some people who are here in the chat. I know people keep coming in as they do all night long, and we'll shout them out as they come. Let's talk to the people. We got Dr. Deb, who's a member, rocking with us right now. TNJ is up in the building, rocking with us. Ty is up in here, rocking with us. I kind of love Etsy, who's a member, who is up in here. Jess is in here, who was a member. Mostly it's insane is up in here. Debbie is in the building rocking with us right now. She does the most is in here rocking with us. Raven 187 is in the building rocking with us. Megan Smith is in here rocking with us. Baby YT is in here. Our home girl, put the emoji up for Carla Way is in the building rocking with us. Another member, channel member, Tamika Den is in here. Dr. Deb, channel members in here. 08 Cali, channel member in here. My man KP is in here rocking with us right now. I'm glad to be on, man. I'm glad to be on. Super Villain is in here rocking with us right now. Too Grown for You is in here rocking with us right now. We got so many people. Patrick Cole, I'm trying to shout out everybody I can. Patrick Cole's up in here. We got, you know, a whole lot of people up in here. So I'll give more shout outs later. Julia Barber, channel member, is up in here. What up to everybody else? All right, let's talk a little business real quick, and then we'll get into this like we always do. So I am waiting for the samples of the shirts I told you that I'm making. I'm waiting for them. I thought they'd be here today, but they should be here within the next couple of days. So the next live stream, I should have the shirt on. As soon as I have the shirt, I got to check the quality of the shirt, check everything else, and I know everything is correct and everything is right. Then I will give you the link to where you can actually go and buy the shirts and everything else. So that will be there. Hopefully, I thought it'd be here already, but hopefully it'll be here. It should be here this week. I spoke to the dude 2 days ago, and he said that it was all mailed out. So I'm just waiting for those samples, 5 different shirts to come through, and then once they come through, then I will have them, and then I'll rock one on here. And I put myself a little closer on the screen so you can actually see me and see the shirt and everything else like that and all that good stuff. So, you know, I got the pictures. I was going to show you the pictures of it. I do have pictures of it, Bob, of the shirts, but let me wait until I actually have the shirt in tow before I can actually show you the pictures. Because if I get the pictures and all of a sudden, now I do not doubt that the quality is 100%, but I still gotta check it out. You know what I mean? And I want to show the pictures, and all of a sudden I show the pictures, and you want the shirts, and the shirt come and it ain't right, and then all of a sudden I can't give it to you, right? So then I can't do that. So that's the reason why that goes down like that and everything else. All right. So that is what it is. So waiting on that and everything else. That's the way it goes. All right. So I just want to put that out there. Someone else has mentioned in the comment before that they wanted me to, when I do the convention, right, and the convention jumps off, that if I somehow include the price of, if you buy a book at a certain price, you also get a convention ticket. So I'm considering to do that. So you get the shirt and the convention ticket. It could either be like that, or I could, you could buy the book at a certain price, get the convention ticket, or I can just give you a convention ticket and a book comes with that convention ticket. I have different packages. Like the book will come with that convention ticket. You know what I mean? So it'll be something like that. Work out the kinks and make sure everything is there. Make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. So everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. All right. That is with that. That is up with that. You know what I mean? So glad y'all all are here. Hope that gets all that out of the way. Let's get to what we are all here for. Again, you can call in. Call in to speak to me. I really would appreciate it. Like to hear from you. That is the number on the bottom right now on the crawl, 518-290-0848. Call in. I would love to hear from you. Tell me what you think. We're going to go through some theories tonight about from. I'm going to tell you exactly what I believe. I know I told you what's going on. I'm going to give you some more in-depth commentary on what's going on in here and everything else. Make sure you call up and everything else and all that good stuff. All right, I think that is the first of 5 minutes of the intro. So that most likely I'm solo dolo. I was great to have Elamar on here last week. Hopefully she comes back. If she's in the chat and she can come back tonight, I'm sure she'll let us know. If Phil can come through, I'm sure he'll let us know. We'll see. If not, then this is Don, this rocking solo dolo tonight, and I hope that's all right with you. Let's go.
Just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Now I have children of my own. They ask their mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? I tell them tenderly. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera.
Thank you, my lovely, for preparing that intro for the Don Tony Teflon TV. Well, she didn't really do it for me, but I jacked it. That's how I get down, right? But people are asking, who's that? That is Carla Way, who's in the chat right now. I thought everyone knew that, but in case some new cats in here don't know who that is, that's Carla Way, and who's in the chat right now rocking with us. You know what I mean? So, yeah, give a shout out to Carla Way. And if you're a channel member, Carla Way has her own emoji. Throw the Carla Way emoji up in there and everything else like that. But yeah, thank you, Carla. We truly appreciate it. Let's get into this. And I wish Phil would come on too, goddamn. I hate being solo dolo, but I had prepared a long time on a Song of Ice and Fire, and I've done it solo dolo so many times that I'm cool with it. Yeah, right? We can get it done. All right, so let's go through some. Now, there have been very interesting theories out there. A man, Real Enigma in Theories, has just put out a video. If y'all didn't check it out, go check out his video. And I do believe when he came on here, you know what I mean, he dropped his theory, it wasn't as clear as he did in his video. So the fact that he did it in the video, I think he did a great video, got a great job explaining everything in the video. Sometimes it's easier, you know what I mean, and doing it in front of a live audience and there's stuff going on the side than to actually say what his thing here, his Native American connections to all this stuff. Now, I agree that it's there's a lot of Native American material in this show. 100% agree with that. It's undeniable whether you talk about the dream catchers in there and all the other things, the Inuit, the Jenga boxes and stuff. I mean, those are Native American, but they're also other cultures use those boxes to mark things. They would mark special places. They would use them to caches of food in wintertime and things like that. So definitely 100%. I get down that there could be some connections to their Native American. Now, as for all the witchcraft and everything else, I don't agree with that. Now, I tell you straight up that in the end, when this is all said and done, now I understand why certain people. Now, if you go back into time, right, and you look at certain things, and I talked about this a little bit before. A lot of times, magic is known. A lot of times, people think things are magic, and it really isn't magic. It really is just science, right? There was one time that I can remember that the Americans were using a base in Africa, and they needed this base out there, right? So they needed it for a war. So they put all these places, landing strips down there, so they could fly their planes down. And now those indigenous people were on this base, all right, who lived out there, and they'd never seen flying. They never seen airplanes before. So they were all amazed, and there's video of this actually. And they were all amazed of all of these aircrafts. They'd never seen in this technology. So when the Americans would come down there, they would give them food, and they would, in order for them to be happy that they can use their area for a landing strip. All right. The war ended, and when the war ended, Americans all left and everything else. Well, out of this, these people that were there in Africa, they created a whole religion around these ships, and they took bamboos and trees and made frames of these ships, and they put them on the airspace, and they did whole religious ceremonies around it, and they concocted a whole story that the people that were flying those ships were actually their ancestors coming back to help them, and that's why they brought them food, and they wanted them to come back and give them more food. So that's why they made a whole ritual about that, and that's real life. The point I'm trying to make when I say that is that a lot of times you're dealing with people who don't know what technology is. They could create a religion around it, and they can also think that it's some type of magic. In the end, it's not magic. It is just some type of technology. And I think that even when you deal with the Native American stuff, I do believe that these Native American people could be on the same situation, but it's not going to be magic. It's going to be technology when it's all said and done. It's going to be they conceive it as that. Again, when we talk to an expert, and remember what the expert said.
We have all sorts of stories, mythologies, legends that could be interpreted as gods, who in reality were misinterpreted extraterrestrials.
And that is the truth. There are a lot of people who would think someone like Thor or somebody like Odin or any type of people like that were gods. And you realize that they're not. They just live in a different dimension, right? They live in a different dimension, allows them to do different things. Therefore, it seems godlike, the activity that they portray, that everything that you see come out of them. As I said, if we're dealing with someone who is in the fourth dimension, we can see how they can knock down a house without being seen, because you can't perceive the fourth dimension when you're a third dimensional being. But that would be considered some type of magic, or that person is special in some way. But in reality, they are not special. They are just regular people or other people inside of the fourth dimension. Phil is in the back right now. He has joined us. I'm sure he's setting up right now and everything else. So when I deal with the Indians, and I've heard things about Vikings, and it could be some Viking, the ruins, when you look at the ruins and you look at the things, it do look like hieroglyphics that the Vikings would use, also used in Hebrew, right? Those signs aren't just used, and I pointed this out because I'm the one who put that up on the Facebook post, and everyone took the post and put it all over Reddit and everything else. But those things are not just Arabic, are not just from barbarians. Barbarians, that's not right for me to say. Vikings, right? They are also Hebrew in nature. right? And I've broken it down exactly what it means and stuff, right? Dealing with Hebrew, and I said the connection would be when you deal with the Hebrew and Hebrew people, we know that unfortunately, disgustingly, they were experimented on by German people, right? They used them to do experiments. And I think that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with human beings being experimented on. But the question then would be, who is the one doing the experimentation? Now, I told you before that this involves aliens. And in the end, you will see that it does involve aliens. Guaranteed. If you want to say that that red picture inside of the tunnel looks like Cthulhu, right? And it's a Cthulhu monster, Cthulhu-esque. And they took that some things from Lovecraftian. Cthulhu is an alien, all right? He's an alien. That whole Lovecraft thing, horror, these are aliens. These aren't creatures from magic. These are all aliens who come around and they look crazy, right? It's like the Blob from back in the days was an alien, right? The Thing was an alien. All these things are aliens. And in the end, you're going to see if this has something to do with aliens. Now, in the end, I believe that it's human beings that are doing all these experiments on all the humans that we see in there. 100%, because human beings are the worst people who ever crossed the galaxy. And I think that human beings have captured aliens, stolen their technology. Now, this is something that it seems far-fetched, but there was always a rumor that in Area 51, they had captured an alien, and a live alien. And they gave this alien a name and everything else. You can look it up. If you look, captured alien area 51. And they gave the alien a name. And this alien they captured there was responsible for a lot of the technological jumps that we see. So when you look at it like that, and you see that in the real world, there are stories about human beings capturing aliens and using them for technology to create new technology for them. I think that's what we have here. And I think that these technologies are being experimented on these people in there. They're all being experimented on in there by the government, who have captured aliens using their technologies and everything else. Let's take our first call. All right, let's take this.
Call from.
I think that's what we
Egon Targaryen.
Technology.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
What's going on, man?
Oh, Tony, what's going on?
Chilling, man. Chilling. How you doing, KP?
I am good. I said, let me get my call in early so that everybody else can get a chance afterwards. First of all, thank you for logging on tonight. I was feeling a little bit down, Tony. I was a little bit down. My wife and the kids have been away since Friday. So this week I had a great weekend. Then Monday came, I had to go to work. Now, a couple days passed now, and I'm out here in the house alone, missing these goddamn people. Don't tell her I said that.
I won't.
She's gonna get beat. But I just want to grab onto one thing that you said.
Yep.
And perhaps put a little pushback on it. You spoke about Cthulhu.
Yeah.
I think that's a good example of what might be happening here. But there's a lot of scholarship about Lovecraft and his writing. A lot of scholarship. Despite the fact that he was a real hardcore racist.
Mm-hmm.
One of the thoughts, I would say the most pervasive thought, what most people believe, is that Cthulhu and pretty much all of the other Cthulhu-like monsters in his stories were not aliens. They were all native to Earth, which is what makes them scary. Cthulhu is from the depths of the ocean, and the idea is he ruled the world, hundreds of thousands of years ago. And in one story, he was defeated by, some other entity. In another story, he kind of just got fed up of ruling and went to sleep. And and he's sleeping a very long slumber, and he's waiting for a period when his people who follow him call him back to take his rightful place. And I think it's interesting to consider, especially in this story. It's interesting to consider that the aliens that you're talking about may not actually be aliens from another planet, but they may be they may be alien to us. They haven't shown themselves to us before, but they've been here, they've been around, perhaps in the depths of the ocean, perhaps they lived in the clouds, who knows, but they've been here and they've chosen this period of time to show themselves. And now that they've shown themselves, XYZ happened, and now we have Fromville. So that's just a bit of a new way of looking at this story, and perhaps seeing that the aliens that we may be talking about, and I'm not necessarily conceding that they are aliens, but I am saying that if they are, they very well may not be alien to this planet, but they may be alien to human beings. And but they may very well have always had dominion over this planet. We just didn't understand it. And I'll give an example. I was reading a book and a while back, and I forget the number, but the book was talking about the number of ants that exist in the world. And the number was huge. It was something like 20,000 trillion individual ants, something like that. It's a huge number. Now, we as human beings believe that we have dominion over the earth. Would you agree with that?
I believe that we believe that we do.
We believe that, yeah. Whether we actually have dominion or not but we believe that, right? However, if you were to ask an ant, most ants probably have never even, most ants, and I know ants don't have the necessary cognitive ability to process what a human being is. They just operate on pheromones, blah, blah, blah. Let's anamorphize them. Let's pretend that these ants have human capacity. If you ask an ant, most ants have never seen a human being, and they live full lives without ever seeing a human being. So if you ask an ant who runs the world, they'll more than likely tell you, well, the queen of this particular ant farm runs the world, not knowing that there are human beings around that are doing all sorts of weird things and making Teslas and making airplanes that fly over and making insecticides to kill ants.
I understand.
I
understand what you're trying to say. Obviously, you could say that about the depths of the ocean, right? We've never been down there. There are creatures down the ocean who's never seen human beings. I understand what you're trying to say. As for the Cthulhu situation, Cthulhu, to me, when I read, was an alien who inhabited the earth, came to earth a long time ago. He wasn't born on the earth.
Correct. Yeah, that is, he came to earth before human beings. Yes.
So that makes him
that is alien. One of these, because Lovecraft stories are very sort of like George R. R. Martin stories, in that, like, you read a version of there's a version of Lovecraft where Cthulhu is just inherent to Earth, and then there are Lovecraft stories that talk about, well, he came to Earth, 100 million years ago, before human beings even ever, became a thing. So there's no canon per se. Like, George has different. I think a good example would be like the Night King. You have the Night King of the TV show, then you have the Night King of the book,
right? But and then that's not. Real quick, that's not true. I know a lot of fans in Game of Thrones want that to be true. It was the same character in the show that was in the books, the same Night King.
I believe that too. I believe that.
If you look at the original series, when it ended, they had the name the Night's King.
Yeah.
And then
we
after
discussed
George
that.
R.
I believe that. I believe
George
that.
R. Martin pushed back because he didn't introduce that character in the books yet. Then they changed it to Night King. So it was the same.
Did he introduce? You know what? Did he not introduce it yet? Because he introduced that character in A World of Ice and Fire.
All right, I got other people going to call in KP.
But yeah. So in any event, that is just my little thing. The aliens may not be from another planet. They may be from right here. We just haven't perceived them yet.
All right, I'm going to touch on that a little bit right now. All right.
All right, man. We'll talk. Right, I'll be watching.
All right, brother. One. That's a great KP up in the building. Phil, you there, right?
Yes, I am. How's it going, Tony?
Doing good, doing good. You staying off camera?
I'll come on in a second, but right. I'm finishing up some hippie activities over here. But I did want to talk about something that you were talking about before I got on, because I think there's an interesting episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation that deals with this. You were talking about, the magic science earlier. It's an episode called Devil's Due, where there's this planet of people that some con woman that's traveling past the planet kind of gets their sacred text that says the devil will come back one day and you'll have to like pay everything for her. So she uses her technology to act like she's the real devil. And then Picard shows up and he's like, oh, screw you. This isn't real. And then he basically replicates everything that she's doing with the Enterprise to prove that she's not a god, because everyone on the planet thinks the devil thinks she's the devil with superpowers and magic powers, but actually it's all done with transporters or holodeck technology or different stuff like that to kind of do that kind of thing. So it's similar to what you're saying in the sense of the science being used to symbolize magic in that. So it's an episode called Devil's Due of The Next Generation. But so that's definitely a thing that's been used in science fiction over the years as something to work out. And it could definitely be a factor here with what seems like magic, even with what we're watching, is actually, just high-tech science that we're not aware of what exactly they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they want you to believe, and obviously it has to be something believable to a human being, right? So if you have, listen, if all of a sudden zombies walked outside and was eating people, we have had already said cartoons and fictionalized these things, so therefore it would be believable to us, right?
Especially after The Last of Us.
Yeah,
that seems more plausible.
That this could possibly happen. You know what I mean? And all that. So also we're dealing with KP. I just watched Godzilla, the new one that came out and stuff.
There were like two that came out in the last year. One was really good, one was pretty good. The -1.
Yeah, the one that just came out, Godzilla Kong, the one that just came out.
Yeah,
but one thing that
the high budget one.
Yeah, but one thing that happens there in that show, if you watch that movie, I'm not giving anything away, but they go through a wormhole on the surface of the Earth, and by going through this wormhole, they are able to reach a place called Hollow Earth that exists underneath the Earth, right?
Yep.
Really, it's a different dimension, though it's the same planet. It's a different dimension on the planet, right? So Kong rules over Hollow Earth and everything else, and that's where all these monsters come from. They all transport through a wormhole that gets them to the surface of the Earth. So therefore, it's a different dimension type of situation, but not exactly off in space somewhere, happening still on the same planet. It's possible that it could be a situation dealing with something like that. Some
like
type
a bubble
of
reality, like a bubble reality of some sort.
Exactly, like a bubble reality. And we've seen drawings of them all in globes, right?
Within the ships in the bottle, kind of.
In ships, yes, exactly. We've seen that and everything else. So it's quite possible we could deal with that. But even when you deal with Kong and you deal with these monsters that we see, and the point I'm making is that these are superhuman monsters and everything else, they are. It's a technology, a wormhole that brings them up. It's not magic. They're not snapping up there through magic and anything. Godzilla has an atomic blast. When someone sees him shooting fire, you may say, oh, it's a magic dragon. No, he absorbs nuclear energy.
It's elemental.
Yeah, it charges himself up using technology and is able to cast that fire, that blast out of his mouth and everything. So in the end, back in the day, you would look at it and say, this is a magic dragon. It's over here breathing fire. But in the end, it's a scientific situation that's dealing with them, allowing them to do these things. So that's what I think it could be going on here. When you deal with this, I do believe that we're dealing with an alien technology. It's going to be some aliens, because again, Sarah says when she's talking to these people that are talking to her that they're captured too, that they've been there too, and they want to go home also. So there's two sets of people that are captured there, the people there. And let me ask you this: do you think that they're on an island? I know we see lighthouses and things like that. Do you think it's an island there? They're on, so that they've been transported somewhere off onto some like remote island?
It's interesting that you say that, just because, and I know this show is a completely different show. I just restarted a rewatch of Lost just because I feel like I should be up to date with it as I'm starting to watch this. I don't think they're on an island necessarily. I do think maybe they're underground or they're somewhere off, but I don't think specifically an island doesn't stand out to me. But I do think a pocket dimension of some sort. And Tony, I'm such a dirty hippie that you said Magic Dragon, and I've been singing Puff the Magic Dragon in my head ever since you said that. I had to get it out
by the sea.
Like I had to get that crap out, dude. You said it. I'm like, oh, I got to finish this off.
Let me before you go. Let me answer this person's question. Anubis the Gray 23 says, when did Sarah say that? She says that specifically. I forgot who she says it to. Who she's talking to. But Father Khatri, I do believe.
Yes.
When she's talking to Father Khatri, and she says, if you go back and you listen, she says the people that are contacting her she's the first person that they've been able to contact, and that they've been captured too, and that they want to go home. And in order for all of them, not just the people there, they say all, that means them also, she has to kill the boy.
Kill the boy, Jon Snow.
And that's what she said. So Sarah says that to Father Khatri, and giving the explanation why she tried to kill Ethan. All right. So there's two sets of people. A lot of people miss that, but there's two sets of people, or one set of aliens, another set of humans that are being held captured by whoever is running this situation.
And last night somewhere in the middle of the evening, I got a voicemail from someone having a question about From, Tony. So let's listen to it.
Yes.
Hi, this is Pat. I want to comment on the From thing. I believe Tabitha is Eloise. Did you see the picture, her reflection at the hospital? That's the only thing that explains it. The only thing that explains how Victor's mom got that bracelet, all of that. Because the stuff that they're talking about don't make sense. If Tabitha made that bracelet, it'll only make sense for her to find it and know that bracelet. So therefore, that's Eloise, Victor's sister. Tabitha is Victor's sister, I guarantee you.
Sounding like guaranteeing it.
All right, so I'm gonna clap back on that. Tabitha is a whole Latino, accent and all. All right, whole Latino. Eloise is as white as the driven snow. All right, from what we see. All right, no accent. When she said "mommy," it was no mama. It was no mommy. It was mama. All right, it was straight. So I can't see it going down that way. There is a picture of Tabitha and Victor in the new season, like at the season wrap, they're sitting on the steps, the same steps that the picture of Eloise and him were there. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people seen that picture, and so they're just giving us a clue. Listen, they also showed a whole bunch of people in the hospital sitting on the gurneys. They weren't all on those gurneys. It was just a scene they were at, and they took a picture by that.
Yeah.
So no, I can't see it. It would be one of the worst casting and dealing with accents that I've ever seen in any television show. I don't think that the age fits for Tabitha to do it. And as for what do you think about that, Phil? We'll go into the bracelet real quick.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Until we see one of them, and this includes, and I'm not saying I disagree with it, and especially on this one, you make some excellent points about the Victor's the boy in white thing. But until we see one of those things play out on screen, I'm not gonna sort of start picking this is the younger person of this person. My mind doesn't go to that yet. So for now, I didn't necessarily see that. Doesn't mean that this caller is wrong, but I don't see that.
Yeah, so as for Victor's mother having the bracelet, how could she get this bracelet? Well, when you deal with wormholes, you deal with time. I mean, we look at time as a dimension, right? And if you're in the fourth dimension, which is you can go back to any moment in time that you want, all right? Any moment in time you want. You can rewind time, you can go forward, fast forward time. In fact, you can see all realities at one time, as you've seen in the movie Interstellar. They projected it as a cube, and he was going through they projected it as a bookshelf, and he was just going back into time, and he was able to give his daughter clues in the past, even though he left in the future. All right, dealing with it like that. But I think a more easier way to explain it would be she lost it in the hospital. Right, that's where she lost it. That's where she lost the bracelet. We now see her in the hospital.
Yep.
So it's going to be a situation where Victor's mother either works in the hospital, and when she goes back in the time. 1 second, let me take this.
Call from
Oscar Wilson.
to accept, press 1. To send a
KP, what's going on, man?
Yeah, listen, I just had a call back real quick because something came to me, and I was okay. Tabitha's actor has a Colombian accent, very strong Colombian accent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember them ever mentioning this accent in the show? Because I'll tell you why I'm asking. It is either that the character is meant to have a Colombian accent, and if that is the case, then obviously she's from Colombia. And if that is the case, then that has to have something to do with the story. Or the producers thought she was hot and they just threw her in there and was like, accent be done. We could just nobody will notice. I notice.
I don't think that her being Colombian has anything to do with it. I think they just casted the actress and she has an accent.
Then that is the worst casting ever.
No, it's not.
That is dumb.
That's not. What do you mean?
So
People have.
Where did Jim find this random Colombian woman to get married to, have 2 children with, and never have a discussion about the accent?
Nobody ever do.
Yo, why? Yes, you do.
When do you do that?
I'm married to a Venezuelan. I'm married to a Venezuelan woman. Like everywhere we go, wherever we go around the world, people always ask us, "Yo, where's this accent?" Especially in the United States. Yo, where's that accent from? Oh, it's Venezuelan. Okay, great. Like,
yeah. And people never heard the accent before, but people in the United States have heard Hispanics accents all the time. It's as common.
I think one of 2 things: either her Colombianness is important to the story, or it's not. And if her Colombianness is not important to the story, then that is
it's not.
They could have just cast a random white woman.
All right.
There's so many of them.
I appreciate the call. Call back, brother.
Anyways, that was my little rant because I was in the comments talking about Phil. What up? I'm engaged in some hippie activities as well. So we'll get on that later, fellas.
All right, brother. All right. I mean, Phil. I mean, we hear a lot of things, but them saying that an accent is responsible for that would have to mean then we would have to say that Kenny's mother has an accent. That means her being of Asian descent, it has to do something with the story.
It does. It's relevant to the end game of this story, Tony. And I think you're ignoring KP's very perfect points, my friend.
Let me take these super chats real quick. Kelly Johnson, thank you so much. T is a date set for The Usual Suspects review. A date is not set, but we will have it. I promise you that. And Luna, thank you so much. Why aren't we asking who put Frumley in Frumville and why? It seems that those are the main questions. And next, how do they escape? So, again, I agree with you, Luna. Who put them there? How did they get there? Why are they there? And I've given it now. Say it again. They all got there from a wormhole technology, abducted like aliens do. And when you hear of alien abductions, most of the time these people are in cars when they get abducted. All these other people here are in cars or transporting in a car. Ain't nobody been traveling on a bicycle or on foot before anything else happened like that, right? So they have been abducted. I do believe that the trees, the faraway trees, are no more than teleportation device masquerading as that.
Now, I just to follow up on Luna's point to you, Tony, do you think the people that are there, whether they're in a loop or whether any other factor, do you think there's a randomness to them being chosen, or do you think they're specifically chosen because of X, Y, and Z?
They're specifically chosen. These people are not random. We know that from Marielle coming in there. They seen,
yeah, totally right with Marielle.
Listen, they seen Kenny and this chick getting closer, and out of the blue,
Kenny will not succeed.
These people are watching our show, and they're sitting there, and they're saying, "Damn, Kenny's about to get ass. We can't allow that shit to happen." And boop, here comes Marielle. It's not a coincidence that they brought her in there. It's not a coincidence that they were just getting that close in the show. And right when they're about to do something, all of a sudden, here's my ex-girlfriend. That is not a coincidence. Everyone is in there for a reason. They are all in there because they're important to their story somehow. Their experiment on them somehow is there. There are people there, I do believe, for fodder that are just there who got caught up. They want one person, like all the other people on the bus. I don't think they brought all of them in there for a reason. I think they brought her because she was on the bus, and they all got dragged in there.
They were on the bus, so they got dragged there too.
So I do believe it's people in the car. Like they may have wanted Boyd, but not his family, but they're in the car with him, so they're there. You know what I mean? I do believe it's a situation like that. But 100%, all these people are chosen, and that is why they are there. Now, as for the next question that you said, how do they escape? It's going to be on a boat. It's going to be a flood, and they're going to sail away on a boat.
So do you think it's on an island? You asked me that question. You didn't answer it yourself.
I did ask you that. So when I look at the island situation, we could say a couple of things. We've seen a lighthouse in the show. Mm-hmm. It seems to be very important. Lighthouses are associated with water, bodies of water, right? We don't see bodies of water out there at all. Island is just a land mass that is surrounded by water, right? It may not be an island. It could be a peninsula, right? Could be a situation like that. I don't know if they're exactly on an island. It's possible they could be, but I do believe that when the flood does happen, that it will seem like it's an island, right? I guess that's what all islands at one time were, continents, until the water rose and made it into an island. I think that we'll definitely get into a situation like that. And I think that's the whole thing with Boyd and the boat and him wanting a boat. He's going to want a boat, and he always wanted one. He's going to get his boat when they sail away. And that's the only way they're going to be able to escape the island and everything else. Now, again, there are ships or called boats. Spaceships used to be considered, people called them boats and everything else. So it could be a situation like that too, where if people want to say that they're in some type of simulation on a spaceship, you know what I mean? So it could be that. But I do think that is possible when they do escape. They'll be on some type of raft or a boat or anything after the Great Flood. This floods everything out. And I think that they use that to reset everything.
It would be interesting if, or just thinking about what it is, where they are, it's definitely a controlled environment of some sort. Maybe a tunnel to lead to a peninsula, or a giant, not a movie set, but some sort of environment that was tendered for this specifically. That's why, who knows what's underground? It could be set up like Disney World with underground tunnels everywhere, like Falling Air, where they were people. I mean, we already know there's underground caverns and stuff like that, but there could be entry points. There could be different versions of that all around. So I do think it's some sort of controlled environment of some sort. So
100%. I think when we know what we're dealing with here, I think that we have to realize we're dealing with alternate realities, alternate dimensions, alternate timelines. I think that that's a given to me. That we're dealing with that these characters have been here before in one form or another from an alternate dimension, and they keep going over running the same experiment until they get the desired results. I think we're dealing with that. I think that we have to put that out there. That's what it is. It's no reason, again, in the poster, when you look at the poster, you can see it. They're up in the air. They got a road that goes straight down into the town. The roads in the town look like the Talisman, and they have trees upside down and on the bottom of it. Not going to have the trees upside down and on the bottom of it. That's a typical thing, saying that we're dealing with two different dimensions, alternate dimension situation, and everything else. Purple Alze says no electricity, but the homes are still lit. To me, means that it's a set.
It's like a movie set. It's a giant, and that would be easy to make it flood, Tony, if it was a movie set too. You just push like the flood button. We've both been talking about this for years, but like the Truman Show-ish vibe to it, not exactly that. I don't think it's a television show or a reality show of some sort. I don't think it's like Squid Game with a bunch of, rich people watching these people kill each other or something like that. And I don't think it's something like Westworld where or Total Recall where they chose to go here. But I do think it is a movie set or a controlled environment of something. And so I think that's a wonderful way of describing it, Tony, like a giant movie set of some sort.
Yeah, it's a movie set. It's a Truman World situation. Boy was getting too close to the White House, so they hit the rain button.
Yep. And
now it starts to rain. And they have a switch. How intense should the rain be? And they turn the switch all the way up, so it rained really hard. Now they have another switch, make it snow. And now we're going to turn the weather up and make it snow. Let's see how these people deal with a food shortage or not being able to get the food. We'll see how they react to that. And that's exactly what's going on. It's a Truman Show situation going on here, in the sense that it's someone that's pulling all the strings and controlling everything that's going on there and running everything in there and keeping people in this spot. Now, as for people saying Victor's dreams are coming true, 100%, it's a good possibility that Victor manifested everything that we see. And and again, I've said before, Victor is the boy in white. That's what's going on. And there's no doubt about it. And when in the end, Victor is gonna die. And Victor's gonna have to be killed. All right, let's take this call.
Call from.
What's going on, Tony? This Baby Clay YT.
To accept, press 1.
What's going on? You rock with the Don Tony Teflon, Fill the Issues guy.
Welcome.
Yo, what's going on, Tony? This Baby Clay, man.
What's going on, man?
Hey, look, ain't nothing much. I hope y'all having a good day. Hey, look, I had a question about that bootstrap that Tabitha found in the diner. Do you think? I think it's possible that man that Jay saw in the vision, that was holding the book, I think that's Jim's dad.
You think that's whose dad?
I think that's Jim's dad.
Martin? Not Martin.
I hate to
not
change
Martin.
the conversation.
Not Martin. I forgot. I forget his name. You think that guy is the dad?
The guy that's holding the book
that
Jay sees in his vision, I think that's Jim's dad, because how would the bootlace get to this Fromville if he never went there?
Well,
unless, like you said, in the fourth dimension, you could drop things, you could see things that nobody else can see.
Yes, 100%. It could be put there now two different ways. Let's look at what we know. What we know is that Victor's mom was wearing it, right? Right?
Victor's mom was wearing Jim's bracelet.
Was wearing Jim's bracelet. We know that, right?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
No.
So Victor's mom was wearing Jim's bracelet. The one that Tabitha made for him. She was wearing it. That's a known fact. Victor's mother was killed in Fromland. Victor picked up the bracelet from his mother and stuck it in there. That's how it gets in there.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking, because Jay never told Jim about the visions of the old man that he was seeing.
No. These people don't tell nobody nothing.
Yeah, like I said the last time, the whole town doesn't talk. They just let shit go by.
Mm-hmm.
And I never knew that when I rewatched the season. I'm like, yo, Jay never told Jim about the visions he saw about with the guy with the book.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another thing, like you said, with the trailer breakdown that's coming up, I honestly think that's Kenny's mama they carrying. I honestly think that's Kenny's mama.
We've talked about Kenny's mom when it first came out because we said, me, Phil, and I, that in order for this to make sense, it has to be someone that Jade cared about.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's the only reason that he would assist doing it. Right. So,
right.
It would be Kenny's mom. These are the only people that Jade care about to that point where it would affect him that he felt like, I need to pay my respect. I talked about it like a gladiator situation, right? You pay the respect. Let me carry the body of this person, right? In the funeral, this is what you're doing. Kenny's mom makes a lot of sense that it could be the feet of small Asian people have small feet. So it does make sense. And we also talked about Kenny breaking bad, that we were going to see Kenny break bad. Me and Phil discussed
in season 3.
And the only way we could see that happen is if his mother died. So it does make sense that it is her. It's a good chance that it's going to be her. And then we'll see Dark Kenny. Where he
so you think Kenny's going to break bad?
Kenny's going to be Pepe Le Pew. He's going to start taking the pussy. He's gonna
you can't do that, man. You can't. That's gonna break Christy's heart. But okay. So I wasn't the only one thinking that. I didn't catch that live when he was explaining that it could be Kenny's mom. But one more thing, I want to Turan guy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. Yep. Torian or Turan.
Yeah, I know.
He was going somewhere with the game, but I don't think it's that in depth into the game. Instead of it being a witch or some sort, like he's saying, a witch, the devil, man in black, whichever one it goes.
Yeah.
I honestly think that this is a game, but it's between 3 people, and I think y'all gonna say I'm crazy for this. I think God has to do with it. I think the devil has to do with it. And I think aliens have to do with it.
All right. I'm not going to answer
follow me.
Terry Matthew, who you're speaking about. I agree with the John Abbott. Was John something?
John Abbott. Yeah,
I agree with that part of it. Like that guy could have. I agree with that part, but
the one-handed pitcher.
Yes.
Sorry.
I threw you off when I said God and all of that, right?
Sorry.
Yeah,
the reason why I said
we just talked about. I had the specialist come on here a little bit ago, and he told you that people who perceived a lot of things to be gods really were just extraterrestrials, right? So the God, devil, it's all about how they interact and the things that they're able to do that make them seem godly, right? But in the end, they're no more than just extraterrestrials who's being mistaken for God. As I gave the example, how human beings were mistaken for gods in the last 150 years.
Right.
It's just technology. Yeah. When technology comes and it's that more advanced, you think it's godlike.
And I think that's the explanation of, like you said, the houses breaking down and shit moving where it's not supposed to be moving. The weather's changing when it's always been spring. Like, that is the part of me where I think the 4th dimension comes in. And people are, like Jim said, somebody is watching us. He kept trying to tell Tabitha that somebody is watching us. No one wanted to believe him.
Everything they do. Listen, 4th dimensional person can see Tabitha digging that hole. 4th dimensional person can hear Boyd say, "You can't break me." Right? No one was around Boyd when they heard that, right? But someone actually heard it. 4th dimensional person can punch underneath the truck. 4th dimensional person can put something inside of your body without breaking your skin. We hear about that all the time, like people who get abducted by aliens. There's actually a show that's out on Netflix right now talking about it, where people have embedded things under their skin, but there's no skin breaks. Like there's no wounds on their body, but they don't know how these things got implanted underneath their skin, but they have implants underneath there, right? These are.
And you want to know what's crazy?
Go ahead.
Now that you say that, I'm sorry to interrupt. Now that you say that, that's maybe how the cicadas got into their bodies.
Could be.
Because we didn't see any cicadas fly into Julie, the fake Captain America, and Chrissy's girlfriend. We didn't see anything fly into them. They just woke up and started yelling.
100%.
And now that makes me think a little deeper, because you are absolutely right about probing, no scars, no nothing, and here they are bringing up cicadas, and there's no scratches, no blood. Yeah, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. I just gotta keep watching the show like y'all do, man. I watch the show every day just to figure out if I could find something to do, and I call you every time I do.
I appreciate you calling in, 100%.
No problem, buddy. I hope the family have a good night, and I continue to watch the show.
All right, brother. What?
All right, now what?
So what do you feel about that, Phil? Everything he was talking about.
He makes a lot of really good points. He does. It's interesting that this show kind of inspires this, and I hope I just want this show to really stick the landing and give us some answers this next season to keep fueling this particular fire.
There's just no way around it. Again, if you look at what show just ended that I'm talking about, that just ended, Sugar. Sugar. They gave you the answers in Sugar in season 1, but gave you enough mystery to go on. You can say the same thing with Severance. They answer enough questions in season 1, but makes you want to come back and watch. And I think that's what's happening. Again, when you deal with a lot of television shows, season 3 is usually the season that makes or breaks the show. That's usually the season when the big things happen and people go. You look at Game of Thrones, season 3. That's when the Red Wedding happened, right? And that's when everything goes crazy, and that's when everyone picked up. So this would be the season that you either make it or you don't make it, and that's the way it is. So they dropped the big thing for season 3. All the Game of Thrones, Dan Weiss and them, all they said was, we got to get to season 3. That's all. When they wrote the show, they're like, if we can get to season 3, we can have the #1 show in the world. And they were able to get to season 3, and it became the #1 show in the world.
With them, it was a different issue where they only thought themselves through the Red Wedding, and they couldn't do anything afterwards without it. That's when they started to lose interest at that point. But you're right. Season 3 is when it really took off, when you start to see the end game of a show. And that kind of enters into a question I wanted to ask you based on what we're talking about if there is a director, or if there is some sort of, do you feel like they need to give us some of that in this season? Do we need to get like a more of a hint of what the other side truly is all about, and that inner working a little bit more in this
Can't
season?
give too much away, because then it's no sense of watching.
Yeah, we need one big reveal before the end of the season.
Yeah, you gotta have at least one. That's it. You can't say that
one Scooby snap.
if these are all avatars of the people and they're all really laid up in the hospital somewhere, you can't show everyone laid up in the hospital somewhere, because then you're not going to care about the people that are in there.
It's too much. Then it becomes a holodeck episode.
Way too much. It's way too much. No one's going to care about anyone else. You can't, if that's the case and that's what's going on, you can't give that away. But you can hint at it, but you can't fully confirm it. As Luna says, do you think the showrunner has an ending or writing or as they go? Didn't Harold say something about this?
We've talked about this a few times before. Harold has said, people still to this day ask me, and I'm paraphrasing, still ask me about Lost, the end of Lost, how they're disappointed by it. I don't want to be a part of another show like that. Before I agreed to do this show, I had to hear what their end game was and be satisfied with it myself. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that Harold said. I believe before last season, people were asking him that question.
Yeah, 100%. Now, again, I don't know if Tabitha is wearing that bracelet right now. She has the bracelet. We know it's in her possession. Right? We know that she had it. But if Tabitha does have the bracelet and she's in the hospital, there's easily we can see her leaving it in the hospital. And this could be the same hospital that her son lost his life in, right? And somehow Eloise is in there, finds the bracelet, goes back into time and gives it to her mother. And that's why her mother is rocking it.
There could be something like that. And I also want to add, we've talked a lot about how they can't do too much or some of the things that got to do with Tabitha, like if they find her body in Frumland, it would disclose that the Avatar thing is more true than not, and they can't go that far. If she is bringing something from Frumland into the real world, if the hospital is the real world, I think that doesn't that kind of confirm that it's not an Avatar if she's actually bringing an item through.
That would,
or it's at least a point in that direction, right?
You would have. I mean, you would think it would have to. But you would have to explain how she gets pushed out the window and gets in there.
Back through a wormhole.
She has to get pushed and land through a wormhole into the hospital. That would be the only way. But you're 100% right.
What do you think about the philosophy or the thought pattern that the hospital isn't the real world, it's another section of Frumland?
Yeah, it's not a real hospital.
Right, but is that the real world, or is that from Frumland?
I think that's a confusing thing because I think it's all the real world. There's some things are happening over here. It's still connected to Frumland. Mm-hmm. It's a Frumland hospital.
Okay, that's what I mean. Does the Frumland own their franchise rights to this?
Yes. Hospital? Owns the franchise rights to the hospital. It's a hospital from all these people that are working in this hospital. All know what's going on at Frumville.
It's not like a hospital in Detroit, like a random.
No, she didn't just wind up. No, these are all people who are working from there. They concocted this story about her being found in the woods, and they're gonna make her think she's crazy. And that's what's going on there. Every one of them is working there. Eloise is gonna be working there, but she probably got her mind stripped and doesn't remember it. They convinced her that it's not true. It'll be Victor's lunchbox and the drawings inside of it that will jog her memory and say, oh my God, I do have a brother. This is what's going on. And then she's going to try to help Tabitha escape to get back in that world so that she can save everybody. And Eloise will die in that process.
The man in black says she's in the upside down world, the Hollow Earth.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about the Hollow Earth, right? A little bit right there. So it's a good chance that we are dealing with a Hollow Earth situation. It could be that. I mean, I'm telling you that they're going through a different dimension. If you want to say leads to space or leads to Hollow Earth, whatever, same thing. Hollow Earth is a different dimension than the regular Earth, even though it's on the surface of the Earth, but you only get there through going through a wormhole. So it definitely is something like that, without a doubt. But all those people in the hospital, that people, all right. And the other lady, she said the comment that it's a different reflection of Tabitha in there. It's not. It's Tabitha. I know people want to say it, and if it was really going to be a different person in the reflection, they would make that so prevalent that everyone could see it. That it wouldn't have to guess it.
Yeah, it would be a quantum leap moment where it's like, oh boy, you know.
It would be an oh boy quantum leap thing without a shadow of a doubt.
It would pan it out, show you.
You're not going to do that and then just make it only 2 people could get it. 3 people can get it. They're going to do something that the masses, again, this is a show. And that's what I say about people who come up with a lot of these theories that are well thought out, but they're very in depth. That this is a show that has to congeal to the whole world. So they're not going to come up with something that only 2 people in the world can figure out. It's going to be something that everyone can get and that everyone can understand it.
Yeah, this show isn't like trying to do what Outer Range is doing and confuse people. This is
they did a great job season 2 in Outer Range and explaining everything.
Oh, they do. I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Oh, season 2 is great. I would have covered it this year, and I really wanted to, but they dropped everything in one episode.
Season 1 lost me a little bit because I got
this shit is really good. It's so much better than season.
Okay, no, I'll check it out. But that's the point though. In season it wants to be palatable. It wants to trick you, keep you going along, but it also wants to make things clear when it does give you answers.
100%. Thank you for the super chat. RC says, I love your theory, Sony. Thank you so much. A lot of people hate them. So I'm glad that some people do. And everything. Listen, when I'm telling you, when I'm saying these things, I'm not saying this, and I mean no insult to, I just make up theories too. And I've come up with some bad ones and some good ones. I've gotten things right and gotten things wrong.
Just trying to be 51% of the time right.
Yeah, I've been here a long time. and everything else. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. Look, I've been covering from since season 1 trailer. The first trailer I covered from. A lot of people who started covering from came in season 2. Right? A lot of people didn't come in on season 1. They came in season 2. Right? A lot of YouTubers and stuff like that. I've been doing it from the jump. All right, that's facts. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Before it became a hit show, before it got any views on YouTube, I was covering this show. Done a lot of theory videos, and I understand it. And I've come up with a lot of theories. And I've seen guys come up with amazing, well thought out theories. But it's just too complicated for a television show that has to be palatable to everybody in the show. You know what I mean? It would be great in the book. You know, that's the difference between the book and the show, right? In a book, certain people, you could sit there, you could read it, you could put everything in depth, you could put it right in the book. It's different. But every time people always will say the book is always better than the show. Why? Because you can go into more detail in the book than you can on a television show. So that's why a television show has to be more palatable for people. It's not a book, it's a television show.
And they can't do this. I would love it to go back to this in some ways or split the difference a little bit. We used to get the opposite problem with television shows, that you'd get 26 episode seasons or something where the episodes would be so watered down because they just have to keep making stuff up. But I think there's an element of, if they had more episodes, maybe they could get into that a little bit more. But I think this show wants fans. It wants to get people. It wants to keep people coming. It does have the mystery box element, but I think it is a character piece at the end of the day, and you're coming back to see these characters go through this thing and ask these questions. I just think season 2, one of the improvements for season 3, I hope, is a few more answers littered in to kind of salivate us and keep us going.
Larsa Bea Momo says, so the great Stephen King, I guess this is the tone I should use. I'm going to say the tone. The great Stephen King is a fan of the show and is the king of nightmares and monsters, but it is also an alien. All right, let me say something about that. Stephen King may be the king of nightmares or monsters. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I don't know. But he's also wrote a lot of science fiction. And just because you write a certain genre doesn't mean you don't like others. All right. So yes, he could like it for those reasons. I mean, other people like other shows that aren't in the genre that you write. Sometimes that's better for you to like that. I'm sure he's a fan of other writers who don't write like himself. He doesn't write fantasy, but he's a fan of George R. R. Martin. In fact, they're pretty good friends.
Yeah, there's a good interview with both of them on YouTube. And Tony, just to your point, have you ever seen Maximum Overdrive?
I have.
And that's about like an alien probe or something weird in outer space happens to cause the murderous vehicles. So it does elements.
Lawnmower Man.
Yep, there's some elements of that.
That
too.
is all science fiction, dealing with science fiction there in Lawnmower Man that he wrote. So yes, Stephen King can be in everything else and all that, and he could love the show. It does not mean that that he's writing the show just because he likes the show. Is the point I'm making. You know what I mean? That is where he goes. So yeah.
Didn't he also write Shawshank Redemption, or like the original story that inspired?
Did he write? Or maybe the original.
Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna look that up because I feel like he wrote Shawshank Redemption under an assumed name or something.
Yeah. So I just think, listen, who wrote Freddy Krueger, the movie?
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven. Wes Craven is a horror guy, but I'm sure he don't just like horror stuff.
No.
I'm sure he likes other stuff too, right?
Oh, he did. Stephen King did write Shawshank. Okay, that's what I thought.
He wrote Shawshank Redemption?
Thank you, people in the chat. I think he did it under an assumed name. Yeah, I believe so.
Greatest movie ever made.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. It's definitely in my top 5. There's a few movies circling in there, but that might be my number 1 too, Tony.
Yeah, that's to me, that's probably the greatest movie ever made of all time. Shawshank Redemption. I probably put that number 1.
I am with you.
It's hard. It's just you can't get. It's to the point where there's no. You can't get better than that. Anything that's on that level of Shawshank Redemption is not. You can't name another movie better than it. It's just the same. It's got to be tied. There's no better than that, or anything else like that.
And he wrote Stand By Me too. Sorry, but yeah, absolutely. Yes,
he wrote Stand By Me too.
Yes, Stephen King wrote the novella that Shawshank Redemption is based on. The novella Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption was included. Yep, so he did, and he wrote the inspiring story for Shawshank Redemption.
What amazing writer.
And he wrote
all
genres.
genres.
Yeah, incredible.
All genres. And it's a George R. R. Martin does fantasy stuff, but he writes other genres too. You know what I mean? I think that people just get known for the popular stuff, you know, and everything else and all that good stuff, you know. So he's an amazing writer. Incredibly talented person and everything else, but I just don't think that just because he likes a certain genre doesn't mean it's because of this thing that he does.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, but that's good press for the show that he did that and he promoted it like that.
I think this is KP again.
Call from.
Blasphemy! Stephen King did not.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, we'll do it one time. What's going on, man?
Stephen King did not write Shawshank Redemption. He had nothing to do with it. That was Frank Darabont. Frank Darabont wrote the book. He wrote the screenplay. He wrote the whole. Stephen King was just a fan. I just needed to make that known because you all need to put some respect on Frank Darabont's name. He's one of the best American writers out here, and he's still doing it.
All right.
KP is correct. The Shawshank Redemption is a 94 drama written, directed by Frank Darabont.
Sorry to be a little pedantic, but Frank Darabont is a big deal.
No, definitely clear. I'm glad you cleared that up. I'm glad you cleared that. It would have been amazing if he did. Jesus Christ, if he was able to pull that off and everything else. But no, Shawshank Redemption, one of the greatest from a great time. Frank Darabont is the writer of
who also did the first season of The Walking Dead.
Frank Darabont, one of the great novelists, one of the great classic novelists. Not like not just. I mean, Stephen King is great, but Stephen King is pop music. Frank Darabont is good. Frank Darabont is good adult contemporary. That's what I'm.
All right.
All right. I'm listening to you guys as I drive to the pharmacy. Y'all continue.
All right, thank you, sir.
Never mind.
KP is correct, but it was based on the novella that Stephen King wrote.
Yeah, all right. So that does have a Stephen King flair to a connection. Maybe the guy read Stephen King's novella and it gave him the inspiration for writing Shawshank. But the person who wrote it was not Stephen King. So we're right on all that good stuff and everything else. All right. I hope people don't take any offense to anything I say. Hopefully you should chat. If you put a comment in the chat, I'm not trying to downplay or down any comment in the chat. If you put
just
it in
blame
there,
me. It's all my fault.
If you put it in there, I'm gonna address it. You know what I mean? So I'm looking. I'm seeing how I look at all y'all stuff and everything else and all that good stuff, and I look and I respect all your opinions and everything else. Even if I don't agree with them, I do respect all your opinions and everything. So I always will address it and everything else. I don't mean to, if it comes off in a certain way. I'm just from Queens, New York, and this is the way we walk. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So I apologize if anyone got offended by anything else like that. Lisa says, Ethan sees DeBoy White while he's with Victor. How do you explain that if Victor is DeBoy White? 100%.
Marty sees Marty in Back to the Future.
Yeah. So we're dealing with two different realities, right? I do believe that we're talking about different realities, right? We're dealing with two different realities here. Let's just say we could easily say two different ways. It could go that DeBoy White is Victor from a different reality.
You have Constellation on the mind,
right? It could be DeBoy White is Victor from a different reality. You're gonna look a little bit different. You're never gonna look exactly the same, and he found his way into this reality. Right, that could be DeBoy White. You could see it. You could look at it that way. You could look at it that DeBoy White is an avatar for Victor in the real world. If you want to go the dream things, and that's how he's doing it, and that's how it is, right? But if DeBoy White is from a different reality, and he's Victor in a different reality, who's never grown up and staying that age because he was able to cross over, and that's why he's being hunted. That would be that's my explanation for it 100%. DeBoy White is Victor. It's Victor from a different reality. I'm gonna make a whole. I should have got the video. I'm slacking right now, and I'm being honest. It's the truth. I have on videos. I got that video already written and everything else, and I should put it out there exactly the way it's supposed to be and stuff. But Again,
that would also be a very good start of the season video.
Yeah, it would be. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to give away too much before the season starts.
That would be a great right before or after episode 1 follow-up video of some sort, you know.
I know, but I'm still getting good views, 20,000 or so views for every video I'm putting out. But that could be 100,000 views for
Right, the right timing on that could be a big one.
It could be 100,000 view video. It could be Think Story numbers. You know what I mean? It could be a big one right there. So I don't want to give away too much. But yeah, it's a situation like that when dealing with Victor and the boy in white. He is the boy in white. I guarantee in the end of the show, when all's said and done, Victor dies, the boy in white dies, and everyone gets out of there because of it. I guarantee it. You know what I mean? That's how it's going to be when it's all said and done. You know what I mean? Victor's going to die. The boy in white's going to die, and everyone's going to get out of there. And that's just what it is. And whether Victor sacrifices himself and die and everything else, it's going to be something else. You know, it's going to be something. Someone asked how to call away, let you know exactly how to call. If you want to call, you know the number to call in and everything else and all that good stuff. John H. says, let's look at his question here. Jason H. Sorry. He says, do you think they can bring people in? You think they can bring people in unless they speak about them? Meaning what? The people who get chosen have to be spoke about?
Like Beetlejuice, and they show up?
He says, like Mary didn't come in until Kristen brought her up.
Oh, okay.
Take that right after this call. Let's take this call.
Call from
Tyrone Mixon.
To accept, press 1.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don, Tony Teflon, the Fill the Issues guy. What's going on?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, hey, what's going on? Am I on the show live?
You are.
Oh, okay. What's going on? This is Tyrone Mixon.
What's going on, man?
Welcome.
Not much, man. I tell you what, my theory for the trailer with the feet in the scene, right?
Yep.
I strongly believe that's Kenny Mom, because and then when they showed it and you see what's the guy name with the beard? I forgot his name.
Jake.
I forgot. Jake looked real sad, and the only person in the show that I seen Jake actually had some sort of connection with was Kenny Mom. And then I think they didn't show Kenny because it'll kind of give it it'll kind of give it away or whatnot. And then I looked through the season 1 and season 2, and I looked at everybody's feet, and Kenny Mom's shoes fit the perfect description.
All right, listen, we just spoke about this a little bit ago,
yep.
And we agree. I agree. Phil agrees. It's a good possibility that is Kenny's mom. We talked about that when it first came out in the trailer. That is a good possibility of being Kenny's mom. We agree with you 100%. It's the fact that Jade is pulling it means that it's someone who he cares about. The only two people he cares about is Kenny's mom and Kenny. And right. So one, and listen, we just said Asian got small foot there. Asians got some small ass feet, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a good chance that it is Kenny's mom in there, 100%.
Right.
That which would be very sad. Which would be very sad because she's a mad cool chick. She came on the channel. Anyone who didn't ever watch her, go back and watch the interview that we did with her. Me and Phil did her. She came on there. She's mad cool. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So she's a mad cool lady and everything else. So I'd be sad to see her go, but it's a good possibility she will go
at some point.
Right. But I ain't gonna hold you though.
All right. I appreciate the call, brother.
Good call, my friend.
All right,
one. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, anyone who thinks it's Kenny's mom, I ain't gonna hold you on that.
Yeah, it's tough because other than her, the only other person, like you were saying, the only other person I could think of is Fatima because that's his weed hookup. But even that, I don't think he'd be upset in that way. He'd probably be running back to Colony House and looking through the, seeing what's good for table scraps or something like that.
Yeah, if when Jade is motivated, it's when death comes close to him. When Toby got killed, that's when Jade got set in motion to try to get the fuck up out of here.
He gets serious.
That's when he started doing that. So if Kenny's mom get killed, Jade gonna be on that like we got to get us out of here. Fuck this. I can't take this anymore. Luna just donated 5 memberships. I don't know who the 5 members are. Phil, you have your phone? Can you see?
Yes, I do. It was Tyrone Reed, Jesse, Luna, or no, Debbie, and Scrago Tape Shop and Crazy Donuts. Thank you so much, Luna. Very much.
Thank you so much, Luna, and thank you all your new members. Everyone, give a shout out to Luna. Luna is now going. I think Phil, she deserves her own emoji. I think we got to give Luna an emoji. We got to get a picture.
She's responsible for a lot of memberships.
Yeah, we got to get a picture of Luna so we can make it the Luna emoji, or a picture of what she wants the emoji to be, and put a Luna emoji in there.
Right, she might want a picture of the moon or something. Who knows?
Whatever she wants. We'll do it in her honor for all the memberships she's get. She's one of the greatest people in here that helped the channel out the most. Well, let's get the Luna emoji going. Titans, thank you for the super chat. You think Kenny's real name had something to do with the plot Fuin? I don't know if it has something to do with the plot Fuin. Let me look and see what that name means.
Yeah, give me a definition.
Look it up real quick. I can Google this.
Wolf Spear, while Tony's doing that, I'll take some chats. Wolf Spear says Kenny Dies a Virgin is going to be a From spin-off show. It's situational comedy. It'd be like Better Call Saul for From. Kenny the Virgin will be like Jane the Virgin. Kenny asked his mom, "What's in the pot?" She never answered. That's why Jade and her get along so well. She's got pot in the pot. Oh, sorry. Kenny Luda is a super OG. She deserves it. Everyone in the live chat says that. We can't get Kenny's mom unalive. He already lost his dad. That's kind of the unfortunate point. It's why I think, unfortunately, Ellis is going to die for the same reason, because I think our more lightning rods of pain on the show right now are Kenny and Boyd. So I think, unfortunately, horrible things are going to happen to both their characters throughout the series run. And I think the next horrible thing to happen to Kenny is probably his mother.
Yeah, so I have a Japanese. It says, what does this name mean in Japanese? I don't know if it's a Japanese name, but it says assless, virgin.
Kenny.
Blue balls. It means all these things.
Really? Seriously?
That's what it means.
No, I believe you, but
that's what it means. No, it means consistent, permanent, unchangeable, everlasting, indestructible.
I want you to be telling the truth.
He's never coming on the chat, right? He's never gonna come. We got a new member. Michael Lee is not a new member. I thought she was always been a member. Why does it say new member for her?
Maybe it's her new channel.
Maybe she has a new channel. Has 2 different things. Well, thank you, new member. Thank you, new member. Mika, thank you for becoming a member. We truly appreciate it. Someone saying Fuhen means deputy in Chinese for real. All right, maybe it's deputy. All right, that makes sense then. That's what he is.
The spin-off show is going to be called "What's in Donna's Pockets."
It could be Luna's getting mad as leave my Kenny alone.
You tuned in this week. Everyone wants to know what's in Donna's pockets. Yeah, exactly. The game show. Hi, everybody. What's in my pockets this week?
Listen. I'm telling you, we've talked about Kenny, and we said it constantly that we're going to see Kenny break bad, and we've seen the start of it with Sarah. And we said that the only way he goes full bore is his mother has to die. Me and Phil talked about this
100%. Since the season.
I know people maybe hearing the Kenny mom in the car. We talked about this.
I think we might have said it to her.
I think we might have said it.
I think we might. I haven't listened to that in a while, Tony. But
we may have told her
you're gonna die.
Gonna break, that she's going to die because Kenny has to break. I may have told her live in her face that was what was going to happen.
I know we called her the mole, maybe, and she said maybe.
Oh, she was about it. She was like, "Oh, what about that mushroom tea?"
Yeah, exactly. She was being sketch.
She's like, you don't know what's in that mushroom tea. Yeah, she's mad cool, man. Go check out that interview we did with her. It should be an Escaping From podcast. You can catch it anytime you get podcast from. It's on there. If you want to listen to it in the car or something. But if you want to listen to it on YouTube, it's called My Channel for last season. You'll see her picture on the thumbnail and everything else, and Escaping From and all that good stuff. And that's just what it is. So yeah,
let's take this one.
All right.
Tony or Phil, or Tony and Phil. Is it possible that Tabitha and the boy in white encountered is the same as Boyd and Martin encountered? I don't remember the boy in white actually talking about the ESP type conversation.
Is it possible that Tabitha and the boy in white is the same as Boyd and Martin encounter? I don't think so. All right. So one thing we could say about the boy in white is we know that he is not a hologram, right? Because when it was raining, his hair was fucked up.
Definitely.
Right. So he's not a hologram or anything else like that.
The Martin thing was like a glass candle thing, wasn't it? Wasn't it like not the glass, but wasn't it sort of about the lantern or something like that was causing that? Yeah, the Martin thing was it the lantern? It's the whole thing about Martin situation. We look at it from what we've seen in the show, right? If we go on by Martin being chained to the wall, right, and doing his thing chained to the wall, we've seen the other characters chained to the other wall, but their physical body was somewhere else while they were chained to the wall. So if we're going to go by that, then that means Martin's physical body wasn't actually chained to the wall. This his spirit or somehow. Yeah. We've seen Julie and them chained to the wall. Boyd was able to touch them and everything, but we knew that their actual body was somewhere else being chained to the bed. So the music box, not the land. Yeah. Thank you, CA. So we'd have to look at it like that. It would be a situation more like that, more than the boy in white. Definitely, yeah. Carla. Yeah, not the sexy way. Let's say Mike Amika has gifted super chat one membership. Thank you so much. Says she just renewed. That's why it says new. She just renewed. Thank you for renewing, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. Couldn't do this without people like y'all supporting the channel. Truly appreciate it. We have over 180 people up in this piece rocking with us, man. Really appreciate you all getting down. You know where it is. #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Teflon TV. Phil, are you coming on camera, Phil, or what? He's gonna sit back there. Oh, I am on. I'm not on the screen. Oh, okay, sorry. There you go. All right. I'm gonna turn it off in a second to be a hippie in a moment. But no, we were happy to see you. I'm happy. I keep looking down at your pictures. Yeah, once I turned it on, I noticed you're like, oh, you're on, but you're not on. I'm like, what the hell? It's easier for me, man. It's easier for me to handle like this and everything else like that. You know, I like being the voice in the background, you know. He said, I think the monsters take things down to the dungeon. Smiley, autopsy scene, there was a wallet and a tooth in his hand. You're correct. There was a wallet, there was a tooth in his hand. Not in his hand, it was in his pockets. All right, and they found it and they put it out on the slab. They did put that on the slab. You're 100% correct about that. I think a lot of people do forget about that. There was a tooth. There was a wallet. We don't know if it was his wallet or his tooth. He could have took it from the old couple and stuck it in there. And if he is taking things and collecting things, then you'd have to say the other monsters might be capable of doing things. But God damn it, there was a damn television set down there, right? A television set. It wasn't like our TVs that we got. It was our grandmother's, you know, the floor television. The CRT television. Yeah, the floor. Them shits is heavy. Dude, you ever try to, when you bring those ends, move them? Yeah, listen, I had to do it many times. Yeah, people had those TVs for like 30 years because they don't want to effing move them. Oh, yeah, listen, let me tell you something. Do I see the monsters grabbing the big ass floor TV, two of them, and carrying it back to the dungeon? To the left, move the left. Listen, you squeeze it through here, but raise it up. That way. No. You're gonna bump into it, dude. Lift it up on your side, Tony. Lift it up on your side. That's a little far-fetched to me. That's a little bit far-fetched to me that they would actually do that. How they got there, someone put them down there 100%. You know what I mean? 100%. Did they have a couch down that motherfucker too? I mean, did they actually one of those sectionals and stuff that you have to like turn?
Get the sectional down that motherfucker.
Let me turn
Trying to get everything
up on your side, Tony. Up on your side.
We're gonna hire these monsters to move next time I'm there. I'm gonna hire the monsters. I'm gonna hire these motherfuckers next time I'm moving, if they can do that, things like that.
That and the lawn between that and the laundry, you know, like they'd be a great cleaning service.
No doubt about it. So I would say 100%. He definitely had that in his pockets, and it was on the autopsy table. That's fact. There are things that are down there. How they got down there, we don't know. If the monsters are carrying down there, big ass television set, though. I don't know if they carried a television set and all that stuff down there. Could be a different situation going on. People could have lived in there prior. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Flintstones.
Suitcases, motherfuckers grabbed.
Yeah, it looks like the Flintstones cave, dude.
Yeah. They grabbed the suitcase and carried it down there. They kill somebody and say, hey, take a suitcase. Are they robbing people like that? Is this what it is? Are they like down with the Crips and the Bloods and all that shit? And they sticking people up and killing them and just bringing their stash?
I think the mafia might be involved too. I think this is a cross organizational situation here.
You know, it could be a situation. I'm not saying that's not, but I'm saying we would have to believe that that's what happened if it did go down there like that. But the tooth and the wallet was in there, 100%. Yeah. We can suspect that it wasn't his. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It could. I don't know. It could have been something that they brought down there that the people want. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say exactly why he had that, but he definitely did have that.
Jesse, what show they were watching? I Love Lucy, I think, or like The Honeymooners or something.
It was the Honeymooners.
It was probably the Honeymooners. Yeah, probably. That's how they're getting the inspiration for the Flintstones. Hey, John Haymaker, great to see you, buddy.
100%. Purple as they good point, Jesse. I don't know what that point is. The Wi-Fi password.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi.
It's dirty children. Why the kids got to be so dirty, but the older adults is clean as fuck?
Anna Kui, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Good point. The kids are dirty as hell, but everyone else has pressed white. The milkman or whatever his name. The milkman has the pressed white shirts. To the moon,
starts, man. It's college starts and everything.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, starts up in the shit. So I'm saying I don't want to poo-poo the fact that the aliens could be bringing stuff back in there, but I don't think they're lifting the bed and shit and bringing the bed.
No.
Down there. When they deal with the ventriloquist that's down there, I've said it before. I'll get into. It's going to be in my next video, but I'll get into it right now because I put it on a thumbnail. Again, what is a ventriloquist doll? It means that someone is operating someone who's a dummy, right? You can look at that in so many different ways here, right? So many different ways that there's someone who's controlling these monsters. The monsters are dolls. They're not the ventriloquists, right? You can look at it that way. You can look at, I do believe that it was Christopher's doll who went crazy, and he used to use that doll to entertain Victor and his sister and make jokes. That's why they thought he was a really nice guy. But then all of a sudden, so they say he went crazy and started killing everybody. Victor's mother specifically says, hide here from Christopher, because Christopher was out there killing everybody. Again, same thing happened with Boyd's wife. She was a regular woman with there. Then she said, hey, in order to get everybody back, what you got to do is you need to wake them up because this is all a nightmare. She started shooting people. Everyone said his wife went crazy. Could be a same situation like that going on in there. And that's why the ventriloquist doll is in there. You've seen Victor's reaction to the ventriloquist doll, meaning he's seen it before, and that brought back a whole heaping load of memories. The memories is that it's Christopher's doll. He used to sit there and play with them with the doll, and then he was a nice guy, and then he killed everybody. He killed his mother and everybody else in town. That's what happened. Now, whether he was actually crazy or he was doing the right thing, we'll have to see. But that is the reason why that is down there and everything else. Again, them
creepy as hell too.
Yeah, it is. And them drawings on the wall weren't put there by the fucking monsters, right? Someone was down there with some chalk drawing pictures. And if you look at the drawings, it's the exact same style as Victor's drawings, just bigger. But if you look at the drawings in there, it's not far off of Victor's drawings and everything else. So someone else was down there. And you would have to say before the monsters were there, or they would have got killed because they put a whole mural up in there. Every time Jade and when Tabitha was down there, they had to break out quick. You didn't have time to put a mural up there like "Rest in Peace, Biggie" and put that down there, right? That's what it was. It was like a
like at the wedding when they had the signboard, you know, everyone's signed on the board.
You can't do that, right? So someone had time. So it was a good chance that people hid out down there at the time when people were hiding. That's where they were hiding at.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Before the whole town situation happened, before the things were found, before the protective. Oh my goodness, I can't answer the phone, so now I have to listen to the phone ring. But caller, make sure you call back when.
Let me answer the phone. Let me answer. Let's do this. This is baby.
Call from.
This is the last time I'm calling. Like for
All right, Kafie. Last time you called. What's going on, man?
This is the last time I'm calling. This is the last time. The last time. First of all, how amazing would it be to find out that ain't no aliens, ain't no weird sci-fi shit. This is just plain vanilla human fucking trafficking. This, like how amazing would that be if this is just like the place that they keep people while they wait on a buyer so that they can human traffic you to like your place of destination, to the person that's buying you or whatever. That'll be real. That'll be a twist.
There's some people and there ain't nobody buying KP. I've seen some of these people in the family house. There's no one paying a cent for them. All right, I'm being honest.
Everybody has like you may not necessarily be buying them for for fun activities. You might be buying them to see how your knife works, or to see how it doesn't necessarily have to be attractive people being preferred, or like strong people being preferred. Like you could be just buying them like the same way people buy like dead bodies to like medical schools. That's one thing. That'll be interesting. If the Crips and the Bloods came together and they had a human trafficking ring and they were just trafficking people through Fromville and making hella bank of it, and then there's a spin-off to it that stars 50 Cent or something. That'll be
50 gotta be involved. Throw 50 in there, man. You gotta throw 50 in there.
Listen, because 50 the guy. 50 the guy. That is, I wouldn't want 50 Cent to not like me.
Oh, my God.
I'd just stay home and cry. Because that man does not stop. My last thing on it is isn't Kenny and his parents, are they Korean, not Japanese or Chinese? They're Korean, right? That's what's established, that they're Korean.
I don't think it was established that they're Korean. I don't think she looks Korean. From when I look at her and I look at Korean, I've seen a lot of Korean people, not saying they are, but she does not look Korean.
Okay, then
does not look like a Korean woman to me. I've seen a lot of Korean women in New York City, and I've seen a lot of Asian people in general, but she does not look. She doesn't look Korean. Maybe they are, but they don't. She don't look it. I think they're Chinese.
For whatever reason, and the chat will probably tell us, but for whatever reason, I thought they were Korean. But the point I was making is, their Asianness comes up as a thing in the show. It's discussed. It's discussed. It's in your face. It's there. The Colombianness is not. That because I saw somebody saying that she's from, that her being from Colombia is important, is like saying that the Kenny's mom being from Asia is important. It doesn't matter. But I would argue that no, like Kenny's mom's country of origin, ethnicity, whatever, is mentioned and discussed by folks inside of the show.
it has. Am I wrong in that? Tell me if I'm wrong in that.
I had never heard them say, "So you're Chinese," or "What's it like being Chinese?"
No,
I had never heard that.
Not in that obvious of a way, but in that it is. People have said, well, they are whatever, or they have mentioned, like for example, when his dad was having like the dementia attack, I think he was having memories of himself being at war or something like that. It is the fact that they are Asian is in your face. It's very obvious, and it's very obvious that everybody else recognizes it. For example, I think the main, just one thing shows it. The fact that she doesn't even speak English. Obviously, she's from somewhere else, right? So there doesn't need to be any other, like it's a Chekhov's gun thing. There doesn't need to be the pulling up if you put a gun on the table, you have to use it. If you put them being Asian on the table, you're using it every day by having them use this Asian language. It's obvious. Tabitha's Colombianness is never highlighted. There's never a comment of, well, your grandmother back in Medellin would say. Like, there's never any, it's never discussed. It's never pointed out. It is as, if you watch the show and if you never heard her accent and you saw the show, you will never have a thought that there's something different about her compared to the other people. Whereas you watch the show, as a deaf person would know that there's something different about Kenny and his family. They're from a different place.
Yeah, people don't care. Listen, listen, I'm gonna explain to you. In the United States of America, right? We are, especially in New York, where I'm from, right? There's no one.
These people are from New York,
huh? I'm not saying
these people aren't from New York, but go on.
But when you're around people, like you don't walk into the Chinese food restaurant and say, "Oh, you Chinese." Like you don't discuss that, even though they accent different. You don't discuss. Only time you discuss someone accent being different is if you in a club and there's some chick that got a different accent and you can't come up with nothing to say to her. Then you might say, "Oh, you sound different. Where you from, girl?" And that's it. And ain't no one hitting on Jim's wife because Jim's wife is with Jim. Besides that shit ain't coming up, bro. And I'm gonna tell you, that's just what it is. That's how we go down. If you go out there, right, KP, and there's some chick, and you come to the United States, and some chick want to talk to you, and she ain't got nothing to say, she gonna be like, "Oh, you sound different, boy. Where you from?" And that's what she gonna get up in that accent, right? So
that is true.
That would be the only way that's coming up in here, man. They ain't gonna bring it up no other way.
Well, I understand what you're saying is true. I understand that, but as I said, I feel as though the fact that her Colombianness is so much of a non-factor, even though it's in your face, like but nobody ever it's never a topic, it's never a thing. Like for example, amongst themselves, the Kenny and his mom and dad, amongst themselves, they would talk about things to do with their ethnicity. Well,
they would just talk their language. They would talk together because they that's the language that they're most comfortable with. So they would talk that's household stuff. That's not stuff out in the world and everything else. So no, all right, KP. I'm gonna get off this topic, man. We talked about it 2 times already.
Yeah. We'll see. That's what we'll see about Colombia. This has anything to do with anything. Everybody have a good night. I am just getting back home from the pharmacy, so y'all keep it going. I'll put y'all on the TV in a bit. Have a good night. Later to you too, Phil.
Words come pouring out your cup.
All right, that's a great KP. We love KP. I mean, I don't really say. I don't get it. The whole Colombia situation. They got he's like he just saying that they're gonna say, "Oh, your grandmother from the Medellin."
Yeah, I'm hanging out with Pablo Escobar. Yeah. And Vince Chase doing the movie. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. Okay. So
I'm saying, Phil, right? When you try to, let's say, Carla Way, beautiful woman, married woman, So we met in the alternate universe. Single chick.
Bizarro land. We join a band. I'm in a band with Carla.
United States of America, Carla. Yep. And she up in the club, right? And I'm sure it probably even happened to her. She told, there's some guy you don't want to talk to a chick, and then you hear her voice, you say, hey, how you doing? And you hear it's a different accent than yours. The next line is like, oh, where you from? Yeah. That's the only time that shit gonna come up.
Or complimenting the accent.
That's it. Like, yes, that's great. I'd never heard that before. Where you from? And then usually they say, guess. That's the next line. You guess where
do you think? Yes.
That's usually the next line. Because I said it, goddamn. That's how I know.
And then I get to flip a coin and I try to be right between us.
I am not laughing at you, KP. Stop that.
I was.
Yeah, Phil was. I was.
No, I'm kidding, KP. I love you, buddy.
No, I'm just saying that accent. And again, also, what we see on the show is not all the conversations that they have, right? So even if you want to say they actually did have that conversation, that could be an off-screen conversation. So it doesn't affect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or anything like that. Maybe when Jim first got there to Colony House and they all started drinking, maybe someone in there heard her talking and said, oh, what accent is that? Where you from? And maybe she told them that off screen. But that ain't nothing they gonna that has anything to do with the goddamn story, KP. I love you, brother, but I can't go with that one. I don't think that the accent has anything to do with it. But I do think the accent does prove that that's not Eloise. Not unless all of a sudden Eloise left here and moved to Venezuela or wherever she's from and got raised there and then came back with this accent.
And took some linguistic classes and dropped the accent. I mean, or if this is a multiple dimensional thing and if we do again Star Trek Into Darkness had Khan being played by Benedict Cumberbatch, where he was really Ricardo Montalban in a different situation, just in a different universe. There's some weird explanation of why he's a different Khan, but the same Khan. So science fiction has played with stuff like that, but usually it's stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't think in this particular case that's the case. I see where people are connecting that, but I don't particularly
kidnapping of the people, and it's like some type of it's you're gonna have to get a man with a certain set of skills to come up in there and save everybody. Then
the wolf will have to show up and solve some problems.
I don't know if it's that type of party, man. I don't think it's that type of party. I don't.
Thank you, Debbie. I'm glad. Thank you.
As for Star Trek, I mean, I know that the guy who did Star Trek, the third season of Picard, is now doing the WandaVision spin-off series.
Terry M. His name begins with an M. Terry M.
Probably the best season of Picard.
Totally. It's and he's a really good showrunner, so I'm excited to see what he does with that.
100%. All right, let me get this right here. So if you arrive in town, what is your first move? I'm just gonna pull my dick out.
Just walk down the street with a dick out.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna get naked like the dude on Survivor, like just take up all your
I'm going to town, pulling my dick out, and walking down the block, and we're gonna see what's up.
I'll be like, "Hey Tony, what's up with your dick? Well, why do you have that out?"
That's what I'm gonna do, goddamn it.
Tony, why's your dick out? hey, someone go look over here. Tony's dick's out.
They can say, where are you moving to? All the girls can be like, Colony House! He coming to
Colony House for a party.
He ain't getting no house of his own, goddamn it. You know we share everything in Colony House, right, y'all?
Yep. Yeah, we do. He's let's get him some clothes. No, we're not getting him any clothes.
It says straight to the box.
Yeah, some boxes, not the box, a box.
Yeah, you goddamn right. That's exactly
straight to a box. You should say.
That's right. And he said, like an alabaster dragon, baby. You sure right. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I've been single too long, though. Been single too long.
Oh, dude, it's been about a year for me, so I get you.
Years it's been for me, and I've been single for years. God damn it, years. Terrible, and everything.
I'm hanging out in the town. I'm getting a house in the town, but I'm hanging out a lot at Colony House.
You know, Phil, can you put a poll? I got to do it, right? The poll.
Unfortunately, there's a way to make me get access to that, but it's too much work.
Oh, we're gonna get you access to it.
You're like, I'm tired of this. I just want you to do the damn polls.
I'm gonna get you access to it.
I think it goes in like where you're giving me sort of administrative access or something like that. I think that does it, but let me look into it.
All right, that's fine. That's not a problem. Because I gotta even figure out where my videos are.
But I would definitely want a place in town, whether I have to have some roommates or not. That's all good, but I need alone time. I wouldn't want to live in Colony House. That would be that I would end up like Porn Stash. I'd do something
stupid on my fucking phone. I gotta do it from
like the actual desktop situation.
Bullshit, man. Why do they always gotta make shit difficult?
But so I would want a place, but you got to hang out at Colony House. I mean that's the party house.
Yeah, y'all keep hitting them hearts. Now I can see the hearts going up. Keep hitting them hearts up, man. Straight up, man. To show some love for you people up in here. I pull. All right, let's go.
Home Alone monsters. I want my own house. Colony House is exactly OW. It's just a bit too crowded up there. And it's gonna smell like foot. I want to try to. I've gone on hippie tour. I've lived in like flop houses with a bunch of people. It's smelly. I don't know. I don't want to do that. As long as I can come there and hang out. I would rather sleep outside or sleep in my car or just sleep somewhere else, not in Colony House. Just give me a talisman. Yes, I can think of the word now. Thank you, chat. Town for me. I don't share clothes. Sorry. Exactly. And there's that too.
All right, put the poll up there so now people can go back to that. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. No, I can't have motherfuckers hovering over me like that. I have listen. So growing up in Queens, you know what I mean. There's many times where I had to, in my teenage years, bunk at friend's house.
Yeah,
live at friend's house. Live on the couch. Sleep on the couch.
And I have dudes in like hanging in the back of a van when you drive somewhere and shit.
I have a phobia now.
Yeah, it's
that I can't have people around me. Like if I go in my bedroom, I have to lock the door because I had so many people living when I was living like that, walking by me all the time. I just can't do it. So it wouldn't work for me because I would wind up hurting somebody in that house. It's just for being on a bad day, being too close to me, I'm gonna fuck you up. And not that I'm mean or anything, but I just can't have just me as a phobia. I have a phobia. I can't have people for that. I can come chill with you, and then we can go back to my crib, shorty. You know what I mean? And you can bring your friend.
So you wouldn't be good on Big Brother or Survivor or something?
No, I couldn't do that because I can't be around people like that because the motherfuckers' feet smell like corn chips and shit, and they buy me. I'm gonna say something to you.
See, that's why you would be good on those shows. You would be good TV.
Have to say something to you about get your corn chip smelling ass feet out my face, bro. I can't have that. It's just not gonna work for me. You know what I mean? From downtown, thank you for the chat. Why is Donna so secretive about the radio voice? Because Donna is the mole. As point blank as I can tell you. I'm telling you, when it's all said and done, Donna is the mole.
I'm not away from that, but I will say, just to kind of back up a little bit on that, Donna likes to keep secrets. She likes having her secrets. I do think, as well as you, that she's a likely mole target. But I think ultimately, even if she isn't, she's somebody that doesn't like to tell the whole truth about things. I don't think she's ever probably told the full truth about her sister. And there's a lot of stuff about her past that probably we don't know about. I think Donna's a secretive suspect kind of person.
Yeah, respect, Chris Black. I appreciate that 100%. Staying in Colony House is like it's like a sleepover, wake up, fake mustache drawn on you, dressed in
your hands in the hot water and shit.
Yeah, listen, I told people when I was in college, all right, and motherfuckers was doing tea bags to motherfuckers when they were sleeping. And if you don't know what a tea bag is, when people sleeping, they will take their nutsack and then drop their nutsack on your face when you're sleeping, and they call it tea bag.
People in Halo too.
Now, listen, I told everyone in there straight up, if you think we're good enough friends that you could put your nuts in my face when I'm asleep, understand we're not. All right. I don't have a friend that good.
Yeah, Tony, you're one of my closest friends now, and we're never going to be that close.
Yeah, no, never.
Never.
I don't have a friend that good. I don't have no friend that's good enough that he's allowed to put his nuts on my fucking face when I'm sleeping. Number one, if you do it to me, you better hope I never find the fuck out. Because after that, because I'm going to slam your face and I'm a curb stomp you for it. And then it's going to be all over because that's not funny to me. I've seen people do it to other people, right? And they think it's a big joke. I ain't me. And I told them straight up, we ain't good enough friends for that to happen. You know, it's just not going to happen. Shorty Womp says there is no mole. Showrunners confirm that there's a mole. All right, so the showrunners themselves came out and said that there's going to be a mole. So that's why we know for a fact that there is a mole. It's not. It was fan fiction, but they came out and said straight up that yes, there is a mole in there. So that we do know that there's a mole. It's just finding out who it is and stuff.
Donna said she arrived at night. We haven't heard anyone else showing up at night. Exactly. Donna has some sketchiness to her.
Now, Donna is the mole. It has to be somebody who was there for a long time to do the experiments that can keep chiming in. It has to be someone who's in a certain amount of power and trust where if they're walking around. Listen, Randall is right, but they're going to make him think he was crazy, but he was really right. He just went about it wrong.
Yeah.
But he was really right. You've seen the way Donna just showed up everywhere, showed up when the body was being autopsied, showed up on all the, burn that shit. It's a natural reaction. That's why it doesn't seem like a bad request. Burn it. But it was, she burned it for a reason. You know what I mean? So no, Donna is definitely the mole, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right there. When it's all said and done, I guarantee it. When it's all said and done, I'll tell her when she come on the channel. I think I may have told me already.
No, I believe like
I tell these actors in their face when they come on the channel what I think. I don't think I'm just gonna say that to y'all. I say it right to them. I tell them straight up. If Kenny come on the channel, I'm like, Kenny, you ain't get no ass.
They're actors. If they don't have a good poker face, you know.
That's how I said, you ain't getting no ass, Kenny. I would tell them, Kenny ain't getting it. You know what I mean? I said that to the actor who played Elgin. I told him that's his boy, and he said, "Well, he got a kid." I said, "That the real life Kenny, not him in real life." I'm just saying, this Kenny as a character. From downtown says, "What Donna getting out of being? Well, if she's working for the people there. There always has to be someone on the inside to keep, to make sure everything that the shit's running right. It's an experiment we're dealing with here. So she down with those people." How come Donna's sister is not in her wanted poster, a missing poster? How come it only mentions Donna in it? Why is she said this whole story about her sister, but her sister ain't in there? How come they no one looking for her sister? No one care about her sister? Only care about her? No, she the mole. There ain't no doubt about it.
Donna is the mole. She leaked the Titty video. I am team no mole, says Debbie. It would be very hard to tell someone they had to die to escape the game. I mean, Donna is suspect for sure. And if there is a mole, she's one of the likely suspects. It also has to be someone that we trust and someone that we don't expect. So that if they do decide to do something like that, it's ultimate shock value it possibly could be. That's what sort of crosses out Donna's husband for me, or one of the lesser characters. There's no way it's any of the bus people. They're too new. It need to be someone established that was already in there at the time that Boyd got there.
Yeah, and as you answered Luna's question, the mold someone you would at least expect hiding in plain like Clara. She's too far a lower character. It's not it has to be a reveal, right? When they're not going to bring the mole in and say it's the girl, the girl who got the glass in the eye.
Yeah.
You're not going to come in and say she's been the mole the whole time. Dun, dun, dun. That makes no impact. It has to be someone that you care about that gets an emotional reaction from the crowd. That this person's been doing it the whole time, and that's what it is. It has to be someone that's got to be someone bigger. Fatima would work as the mole, but I think she's got there a little bit too late. Tin Chan could be the mole. I told her that in her face.
Yeah,
that she could be the mole. Donna makes the most sense for being the mole. Because again, this dude accused her of it, and they made him look like he was stupid and he didn't know what he was talking about. And in the end, he's going to be right. But they buck broke him. They broke him. He's been buck broke. So when he comes back, Randall, bootleg Chris Evans, when he comes back, he's going to be all in line now. Because he was fucking with Donna from the beginning. Like he sniffed it out of her. He knew it. You know what I mean? But it's gonna
he
be
was
like,
the Human Torch before. Now he's going to be Captain America and following the rules.
Now he's going to be in line. He's going to do get the wood. I got that wood for you.
I'll help out.
Ooh, I got the wood for you. They buck broke his ass, boy. He gonna fall right in line now. But after the shit he been through, that's just what's gonna be and everything. There's no doubt about it.
Was Donna's sister real or just a made-up story? Did anyone actually see her? Again, good question. We don't know because
we see a picture of her.
Do we see a picture of her?
They do show a Donna has a picture of her and her sister, so we know there is a picture there. So it's in a frame too, which is suspect. But she could have found the frame in Frontville and put it in the frame. Yeah. But it is a picture of her in the frame. From downtown, thank you for the super chat. We saw how Boyd became the leader of the town. I wonder how Donna became in charge of the Colony House. She's got a very aggressive attitude, and that's how it happens. Usually people fall in line. You see her grab the shotgun, shoot the tires out. Donna's not playing.
Who else is going to? I mean, exactly. Strong personalities tend to take over situations. See the character in Red on Orange is the New Black. When you introduce certain personalities into certain equations, they sort of take control. She has a both motherly and a tough personality, so it kind of falls into line to be interesting to welcome people. And to Tony's point, if she is a mole, she would be tactically putting herself in that position.
Yeah, exactly. And Julia Claire is the big lady who had the eye patch in season 2, and Joel stole the bike from her in season 1. Yeah, listen, she's too minor to be the mole. No one would care. If they came out right now and said this is the mole the whole time, no one would care. Be like, okay, kill her.
Who?
That would be it. No one.
You'd be like, who? Who is that?
It's got to be someone bigger than that, man. It's got to be someone who. If Victor was the mole, that's a shock, right? Victor's the mole. He's a Kaiser Sosa, just pretending to be like this, but the whole time he's really the mole. That works. That's a shock.
Spoiler alert! He just suddenly stops limping.
Yeah, he stopped. All of a sudden, he just stops eating pizzas. Think I like these shits?
I hate peaches. You think I talk like this? And he just starts.
I'm just doing this for y'all.
For your damn benefit.
We got another question. What do you think? Let's see.
Roll the dice.
Call from
Quentin.
Oh, cool.
To accept, press 1. To send.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don, Tony Teflon, Phil Issues guy.
Tony T, what's up, man?
What's going
on? Bro, I
just
want to say again, bro, I enjoy the show. The commitment is 100%. You second to none, man.
Appreciate it.
Last time I called in with my theory about the whole the city or the town like being alive and whatnot, and trying to look for Avatar, blah 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 blah. But I'm gonna try to go with your theory as far, and I kind of need a little bit more of a grasping of your theory. Like,
okay,
you say that the situation of what's going on in the town, there's aliens or entities that are behind it, like running an experiment. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that there's alien technology that's involved, and I do believe that the aliens are there physically, that they're being held captive.
Okay. So, are you familiar with entities known as Anunnaki?
Yes, I've heard of the Anunnaki, the ones from Mexico, right? Is that the Mexican people that with the
wings and shit like that?
So the Mayan temples. Who was that guy?
Yeah, so Sumerians. They're like in the Sumerian tablets.
All right,
but they're all around many religions and whatever you want to say, tribes, whatever you want to say.
Yep.
Have entities that came from above that taught us certain things, and then also genetically manipulated our DNA.
Yep.
For certain things that they wanted to be done for them by us.
Mm-hmm.
So what if this is like another situation of that, and this is not like, it's not the Garden of Eden, you know what I'm saying? This is the Garden of Heathen, if you will, you know what I'm saying? And they're trying to
make these monsters into like a real form of human being that can inhabit the world now, and just kind of take over. But they need a certain molding. Like they have it down to a certain degree, but they're missing something. So that's why they have certain individuals come in from the real world, breaking them down, you know what I'm saying, trying to get this key element that's missing to make the monsters more human-like, because they have a human nature, as in, like, the way they dress, the way they look, except for when they're in a monstrous form, and then they also like to do humanly things, like you guys said, the smiley dude that was in the bus, like, you know what I'm saying, he was trying to drive and he was kind of having a good time, like it was almost like he was trying to become human. Like, it's like they're trying to learn how to become human. So I just think that possibly there is some type of alien thing. Like, if I'm going with your theory to build upon it, there is some type of like aliens, if you will, Anunnaki, trying to do experiments on real humans in the real time now, to develop the monsters that they have in this city or this town, so that they can complete the form that they want, like make 100% a complete mold that they want to take over the world. But that's just a little theory, man.
All right, so let me go through it with you real quick. So if the aliens are there, aliens that are running experiments of human, they're 100% behind that. Could be, and it's a good chance that there are. I go with the human beings being the bad guys, and they captured aliens too, because I think that's a better spin on it than just aliens controlling this thing.
Okay.
As far as you said, the monsters, from what we've seen and from the autopsy, they were human, and they're transformed, mutated humans, right? So that's I think what they were trying to come across when they did the autopsy. Let you know they're not
human
robots.
Parts in there. There were actual human parts in there.
Yeah, there were actual humans, and somehow they were transformed into this. And I'll go back to the actress who plays Julie, who came on the channel, and while she was on the channel, she said specifically, and I quote her on this: the extraterrestrial parasites in Boyd's body. That's what she said. She said,
what if
right?
So what if it's like though? Because what you're saying, like I agree with that, and if I'll look at it that way as well. But what if it's like the people were once alive, whatever it may be, maybe they died or whatever it may be, and then an entity took over the body. You know what I'm saying? So maybe in that way, these people could have still been alive at one point, but then when they died, or maybe they got possessed, whatever it may be. Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's why these people still seem like they're still people, because they were once people. That's why they found a dude with the wallet and everything like that. So not to say that maybe like, these are just people that they were just made up and stuff like that, but maybe these are real individuals at one time that were in that town or whatever it may be, got possessed, died, whatever, or got affected by a worm or something like that.
Yep.
And then they turned into these monsters from that.
Yeah, they were turned. It was I would say more that they were turned into
like
these
the
monsters.
Borg.
Yeah, like the Borg situation, like Peacemaker with the mosquitoes that went inside the people and then took over the people, right?
Exactly.
Situations like that. Yeah, I agree that it definitely is something going on like that, without a doubt. But they stressed that. And when Christy came on the channel, she said that they were petrified, like mummified inside, is what she took from it. Even though we couldn't see it, but I asked her on the channel, and she said it would be like if it was petrified, that all the parts inside were petrified, like turned to stone.
Okay. No, I got you, man. Hey, look, man, I appreciate you answering the call, man. Thank you for spending the time. I appreciate the show, bro. You guys got awesome theories going on, awesome guests coming on. Just everything is brilliant with this channel, man. And I wish you nothing but the best. I will continue listening. I'm subscribed with the white bell, not the clear one. So I'm on everything that you got. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you.
But I'll be here, man. You guys enjoy the rest of the show, man. Thank you again, Tony T.
All right, my brother. I think he makes great points. I think he's on to it. You know what I mean? I think that's a great call. I think that I think in the end, it's a little bit of everybody stuff, right? It could be something dealing with Native Americans. It could be something dealing with, John Abbott. But I think that when you deal with those things in the end, that these people may have worship and think that it's magic, in the end, it will be proven that it's just aliens and not magic and alien technology.
Or science using those things as an influence to kind of cause misdirection.
You know that I got. Say he said, please, Tony, when season 3 premiere, have a live with Tehran again, so both theories, alien and Native American, can be tied. I think the Native American theory is the professor's theory. That was his theory. He came up with that. Who came on the channel? That's the professor. Real theories and enigmas. He is the one who has the Native American theory. I think Terrence is more the. I think they may be close to the same, but I think that I don't know. I do think the professor is that one.
Tony, to go a little bit more.
When we have the season, I'll have them all. I'll have any YouTuber that we know that does this. We'll invite them all on, and we'll get them all on during the season. I promise you that.
Now, we've talked a little bit about the fourth dimensional being type stuff, and referring to this, the way that the way that the nightmare creatures work as sort of drone-like in a way. I've said the Borg a couple times, but the Borg might be a good, interesting way to look at it in the sense of one creator having a lot of different hands, like the Borg Queen, being sort of tapped into everything and having all these different drones and thoughts and can kind of see and hear all, as long as she's tapped into something. Blood Raven-y Borg Queen type situation.
And the hive mind of these aliens, of these creatures, we know that's definitely a hive mind.
And the Borg is a hive mind as well.
Yeah, they stop on the dime. They do the same thing when they seen Smile down there killed. They all turned away at the exact same time and walked away. Ain't no one say, well, I'm going to eat this motherfucker before I go. All right, they all left and everything else. So it's definitely a hive mind situation again. So it definitely seems like it could be some Borgy stuff. Luna, thank you for the super chat. If Frumville is the landing from the wormhole, then maybe other beings have been sucked into it too, the nightmare creatures. Yeah, 100%. It could be a whole bunch of experiments going on. They could be, again, I say, listen, it's easy that it could be aliens conducting the experiment and they're doing 100%. Could be that. Easily say that. I still think it's going to be the humans, because in the end, the humans are the worst of them all. And I think they could be. They caught the aliens, caught an alien ship. Jade's technology that he's got them in the future is how they were able to do the wormhole. After they did the wormhole, then they caught an alien, brought them in there, captured the alien and everything else.
Bloody Irving can play basketball, sorry.
and all that situation, right? So it could be a situation like that 100% and all that. But I do think that it was all these creatures and nightmare creatures are been experimented on to turn into that. I mean, if you looked at Martin and his long fingernails and everything else and the worms under his skin, it seems like, he said specifically that he's only alive because of these worms in his body. And that's why when he gave him the boy, he died instantly. That's how long he's been there. So it could be it
was like it's not a symbiotic thing, but where it was feeding off him, but also keeping him alive.
And we never seen the worms themselves, like the parasites. Like, they don't show us the exact parasite. They show them under the skin, but they don't show them. But I know that they must be worm-like in shape, because when the show was giving out like goodie boxes to fans and stuff, in one of the goodie boxes were gummy worms.
Gummy worms? Oh,
yeah. So you know that there have to be some type of worm situation.
They want some damn gummy worms. I like.
You like gummy worms?
I'm more of a fan of the bears, but I do like some gummy worms. But for some reason, gummy bears taste better.
I like those. What is it? I like
Sharks?
the Twizzlers with the powder inside. Those Twizzlers, the only ones with the powder inside. You gotta have the powder inside.
I'm not pausing at this. I also, if we're talking about random fruit snacks, I used to love Gushers.
Oh, Gushers are great.
Gushers were great.
I talked about that gum, Freshen Up. No one ever
Oh,
heard
with the juice, the cinnamon one. I used to love. I put like 3 or 4 pieces in my mouth. I'd be like taking a shot of vodka.
And I just got into it with someone about that. I was like, you never heard of Freshen Up? It had the juice inside the gum.
You bite and it would like
Yeah,
in your mouth.
they are making that up. I'm like, I don't make up gum.
Do they not make that gum anymore?
I don't think so. They had people
I
had
have to
no
go
idea
looking
what the
for it
fuck I
now.
was talking. I just got into it with somebody.
Do you remember? Sorry, we'll drop the gum thing in a second. Do you remember Gatorade gum?
I love Gatorade. I really
the
wish they
green
made that
I
gum.
used to lived on that shit for a while.
I love Gatorade gum. I wish they really brought that back. The best gum ever was Tangy Citrus by Bubblicious.
Did it give you that same like that Gator gum? Like
it was just that little tangy, but you're exactly
yeah,
right.
yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah.
I also really liked Grape Big League Chew, but like I had a problem with that stuff for a while.
They still make Big League Chew.
Yeah, it doesn't taste quite the same, but it's still
they changed it. They changed it. It's like they changed the damn corn pops fucking recipe. Bad.
Some stuff tastes the same, and so I don't know. I know it's just not nostalgia memories. Like if I eat certain snacks, I'm like, oh, that tastes like I remember. But certain ones, they definitely change recipes.
Do we have anything going on with the poll? Do we have numbers?
Yeah, we get about 80 votes in the poll right now.
80 votes. That's it. We need more votes for the poll. Come on, let's do this and everything else. Let's go. Cries in Australia. For what happened, Carla? What happened?
Probably lack of specific snacks we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, she probably don't got those snacks over there, right? Oh, Jesus, that's right. Different countries, different snacks. But you're forgetting about that. My sister has a company is something like Snacks and Drinks, and she imports snacks from all over the world and sells them in the United States. And stuff.
I wish I could remember who it was to give you credit right now, but one of our viewers sent me a care package at one point with all these snacks from different countries and stuff like that, like which was really delicious.
Who said that? Was that
who was that? Like I'm trying to remember.
The Japanese lady.
Yeah, you because you're. I remember you like send her your damn address. She wants to send you
the Japanese chick. She's half Japanese, from California. Oh my God, I can't think of her name right now. That's so terrible. I can't think of her name right now.
We've been drinking.
I can't think of it right now. Yeah, that's terrible. I should, and I know it. Like I can see her.
Me too. I'm blanking.
I can see it in my head, and I just can't think of her name. But she wanted to do the Teflon Con. Like she was a big proponent for doing the Teflon Con. Like she was like, we should do the Teflon Con. We can have it up there in Albany and everything else. And she was with it to travel all the way out here to do the Teflon Con. Maura Lee is
it Linda?
No. Linda. It's Linda.
Thank you,
Linda.
Peter.
It's Linda. Linda something. What is it, Linda? Linda something. It is.
Well, thank you, Linda. The candy was amazing.
It was Linda. It was Linda. 100% it was Linda. Linda something. I can't think of her last name right now, but it was Linda. It's the first name. All right, let me grab another drink. I'll grab another beer. We'll drink this beer, and then we'll be out. Phil, hold it down.
Awesome. So let me get into the live chat here. Jolly Ranchers is the only hard candy I really like, and I rarely eat candy. I wonder what kind of candy. Yeah, in Fromville there is no candy, only weed. It reminds me, they go, there is no Dana, only Zool. There is only weed in Fromville. Tim Tams. I mean, the snacking in Fromville, at least you have all the fruits and vegetables. Somebody said this earlier in the stream, and it is an interesting thing to think about this coming season. Tony's talked about taking away different levels and things becoming more difficult with the winter. Winter is coming. With the winter coming, it does mean there probably will be food shortages or less availability for certain crops and such. So that's going to be an interesting extra layer that's going to be added in this next season. Oh my goodness. It is making me want a snack. But I was going to ask the alternate question. Are you guys more when it comes to candy stuff, like something chocolate, or are you going to go to a fruit snack of some sort? Which direction are you going to go? I think most likely I'm going to go to the candy bar, the dark chocolate or Milky Way or something like that, or a Twix or something, over gummy bears or fruit snacks or things like that. But I don't know, Jolly Ranchers, the good flavors of Starburst, Nerds. I don't know. There's something about, to Tony's point, that feeling, that mouth thing. Like you can also get that from downing a half a box of Nerds. You know, that's like candy crack for kids there. I love the candy crack. It's more like an experiment. Chocolate, most people, chocolate all the way, fruit, ice, chocolate. We got Twizzlers. I'm saving my snacks for Tabitha. I want bubblegum. Is Tabitha, the first thing Tabitha does when she wakes up in the hospital is going to be, please go to the snack machine for me and get me, you know, a candy? And what's Tabitha going to choose? Is she going to choose the Nerds, or is she going to choose the Milky Way? I mean, most likely I'm choosing the Milky Way. Tony, are you choosing the chocolate, or are you choosing the fruity candy? Are you choosing Nerds?
All day.
Me too.
I get I would have to get either a 100,000 gram bar or a Take 5 bar. Those are the best.
I'd probably get a Twix, because you get a lot. You know, you get the 2 Twix thing, but because I eat Milky Ways too quick.
Yeah, I would say that. And let me tell you something before I answer this question, Purple Alize. Fun Dip was crack for kids.
Oh yeah,
it should have never been allowed. If anyone ever had Fun Dip,
that
should never been allowed.
That and the popping, the fizzle pop things,
that crack in your mouth, the pop rock.
Yeah, the pop rocks. They tell you don't drink Coke with it.
Yeah, the Coke, you die if you drink Coke.
It's gonna blow up inside you.
Yeah, I drank so much Coke with that shit. It never happened. Fun Dips was nothing but a sugar stick and sugar powder.
Yep,
that's it. And you dip the stick in that and sugar powder.
And it even came with the stick sniff. You know, like it came with like the drug sniffing stick.
That was the straight fucking crack stuff for kids.
Candy cigarettes. I liked both kinds of candy cigarettes. Obviously, the sugar ones, but then they had these gum ones that if you blew out, it had like blew sugar out. Yeah, like a puff of smoke.
One puff.
Yep,
and that was it.
Exactly.
I used to have those fucking ring pops.
Yep, the ring pops. Yep,
ring at the fucking pop on the ring and shit like that.
Bubble tape. I remember when that first came out. I was pretty sweet. I mean, it didn't really taste
cutting
good.
edge. It was a foot long bubble tape was cutting out when it came out the
it came out the thing. You saw a kid show up in school one day with that bubble tape. You're like, oh damn, like what's going on with him?
Fun Dip was crack for kids.
There's
no doubt about it. I'm telling you, that's what I did. All right, Purple Alize, let's get to serious. How do you see Jade Boyd going back into season 3? I think when it comes down to it, boy, it's going to pick up right where it left off. That's what we know. So Jade is still in the cave.
Yep.
He's got the string to get out, so he definitely gets out. The question would be, does he go down and see the murals, or what he's seen in that vision was enough for him to walk out of the cave? So does he walk around the cave? I don't know if they're going to do the same thing they did with Victor and Tabitha. That would be repetitive if all of a sudden they start waking up when he's there and then he escapes anyway unscathed. Maybe too repetitive. So he may just make his way back looking at the string, or he goes down and looks at the murals and stuff, which I think he should look at the murals, and then that would be it. But I think his connection is more towards Tabitha with the children.
Yeah.
Boyd is going to follow the dog somewhere. The dog is going to take him somewhere. We don't know where the dog is going to take him, but the dog's going to take him somewhere. So I think that's how it starts in season 3 with them. But I do believe what will happen is when Jay comes back, he's going to ask about Tabitha, because he's going to see these kids that Tabitha told him that she's seen. So he's going to want to compare notes. Tabitha's going to be gone. They're going to say, what's going on? Where did Tabitha go? Jim's going to say some bottle tree. Who told her about that? Victor. Then Boyd and them are going to have to confront Victor. Victor's going to have to take him to that bottle tree. And then we'll see if the tree is even there. There's a good chance that tree is gone.
Yeah, it's moved. And Tony, this is the one time, I'm not even going to say push back, but it's more like I hope you're right here, because that would be the first time that everyone's gotten together and shared notes. And I hope they actually do that. To your point, that's something that almost has to happen. They have to, that has to be episode 2, maybe even episode 1 stuff. We need to because I think the first time we'll see Jade is after that, like walking back. And we'll connect back with him at that point. And then I hope we actually get that exactly what you just said. I want you to be right, but the show up to this point has shown that no one talks. So I hope that we actually do get again, I'm sorry, I'm a Star Trek one tonight, the Star Trek Next Generation Ready Room discussion, where they're all sitting around the table and they all share what's going on. Like we need that. And that will lead to Victor, 100% lead to Victor.
It'd be funny. Jade has your arm string attached very easily, but yeah, I think that's why they did it, for him to get back. But it'd be funny if there was a monster holding that fucking string. Like he starts going back, and at the end, it's the cowboy monster holding that string. And said, "You thought you were going to sneak out of here, partner, didn't you?"
I got
it's not going to happen, but that would be better if they did do something like that. And then
so they're playing the "I Got No String" song. I got everyone in the chat talking about random snacks. I like chocolate and cheese. That's a weird one. Like I like to eat chocolate and then like take a bite of cheese afterwards. That's probably my weirdest food combination.
Yeah, I am not a weird food person. I can't deal with it. I don't like no peanut butter banana. I don't like nothing like that. I just like
chocolate and cheese.
I'm a very straight up person. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done, I'm very vanilla when it comes to a lot of things. Even when it comes to ice cream, I'm vanilla. And if I want shit, I add it to it myself. And that's it. You know, I don't want to buy anything else, but I'm very strict. When it came to like Sprees, I like Sprees as candy. Bottle caps was one of my favorite candy. I eat the root beer ones. I didn't like the root beer ones, but
Pez. Do you like the Pez dispenser?
Pez, yeah. I like this because of the dispensers. The candy actually sucked, but the dispensers were cool.
I would rather have Sweet Tarts or a Spree or a better version of what Sprees were great.
And it was a big ass package of it.
Yeah.
So you felt like you got your money worth, and you got Sprees, a big fucking.
Oh yeah, I gave my Bill D. I definitely gave my dentists a lot of money. That's one thing we haven't seen from town. Obviously not the candy, but no one's had any tooth problems yet.
No one's had a tooth problem. Well, we just talked about that. There was a tooth. Smile Monster had a tooth in his pocket. Maybe he had a problem.
Yeah.
So maybe he bit on a gobstopper. Or something.
Oh, the gobstoppers, dinosaur eggs.
Yeah, God. Sweet Tarts over Sprees, never, son. That's not even close. What are you talking about, Will Spear? You can't choose a Sweet Tart over a Spree.
I think we need to do a whole show on this.
No way, bro. No way. It's not even comparison. You can't compare that to that. That's not it. That's like comparing a Mounds to an Almond Joy. You can't. It's not no comparison, bro. No way. The Sprees is far superior than a fucking Sweet Tart. Far superior. That's like I can't even acknowledge that, bro. I did, but
we're gonna lose friendships here. Like when I'm gonna say something, yeah, that's like saying that a Starburst is couldn't be better than, I don't know, what are those? Skittles.
Whack, son. Starburst and Skittles is a more formidable comparison than Sweet Tarts. Sweet Tarts were terrible. When you got them in Halloween, you weren't happy. I mean, you never got Sprees in Halloween. It wasn't a Halloween carry and sell like that.
No, sometimes you get
Necco. I got Sweet Tarts. It's like candy corn. No one cared about that.
Yeah. I didn't like the candy corn. When someone says they have cookies and they bring out Necco wafers, I'm like, girl, I don't know Necco wafers.
Yeah, no. Reese's peanut butter cup or a Twix.
I'm with KP. Gobstoppers were my thing. Like Gobstoppers and dinosaur eggs, the old school dinosaur eggs, not when they came with like a box and you had like 30 of them in there. You'd get this one giant dinosaur egg that you just eat for like 2 weeks.
Reese's peanut butter cup and Twix is a very hard thing to debate. It's hard. You can't go wrong with a peanut butter cup. You really can't. It's a perfect combination.
And you can't go wrong with like a cookie with caramel and chocolate.
It's hard to say. It's too hard. I can't comment on that. The Starburst. Yeah. Starburst, I only get the favorite reds. Like when Starburst, like if I buy them now, I buy them in a bag. I buy only the red ones.
The one I like the best came in the California fruit pack. It was a strawberry banana Starburst. That one alone is like my favorite Starburst in the universe. It's strawberry banana Starburst. It's unbelievably, it's that fake banana and that fake strawberry just mixed really well together.
They just did it swell.
They did it perfect, Tony. It was,
it's like a junior mint. You know, like a junior mint, and then they had the peppermint patty, right? That was the same thing. just different shaped and everything else, you know. But the junior mints are hard to debate, like junior mint versus raisinette.
Yeah.
Like,
and then where do you put like M&Ms or Reese's Pieces into this thing? That's almost a different entity. Like M&Ms, like I haven't thought about it, but now that I'm thinking about it, M&Ms win for me. Like pretzel M&Ms and regular M&M. Like
I mean, there's too many different kinds because they have a peanut butter M&M, right?
And,
so,
but people really love the peanut M&M. That's probably the most popular of all.
Yeah, it is. But the peanut M&M is the most
peanut,
popular.
The yellow package peanut.
Yeah,
M&M.
that's the most popular one of them all. But the goddamn pretzel M&M is better.
I'm with you, Tony. The pretzel M&M is one of my cracks. Like if you put that in front of me, the package is gone. I can't help myself.
Peppermint patty was racist.
I'm like Jade at the weed farm. I'm grabbing it all and running.
Yeah, no, right.
Fromville definitely needs a candy store. That needs the candy.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But no, those are great candies growing up as a kid, eating and everything else. Glad I came. But my favorite candy more before we'll stop, the Now and Later. It's my favorite candy. I ate more Now and Laters than any
one now.
candy
Save some for later.
Yeah, I ate more than those than any candy in the world. But I mean, when you're from New York City, Now and Later is the candy of choice. Period. That's what it is. Anyone from New York City would tell you they've eaten Now and Later. That is what
I love
it
that.
is.
I love the Now and Laters.
Especially when you got them when they was, because usually they're hard as a rock.
But if you get them fresh and they're still like
you catch that soft pack of Now and Later, it's like gold.
But dude, sometimes when they're crunchy, you bite down that thing shatters in your mouth and scatters everywhere.
Listen, Now and Laters made me stop smoking. Like when I was smoking, I used Now and Laters to stop, because instead of smoking, I would get Now and Laters, and they were so hard that they were perfect because you can chew it or you can suck it. Pause. And it was a perfect candy that you could do both to, and it got me through. Helped me quit and everything else. You know, all that smoking. Yeah, Luna says hot tamales. Yep, hot tamales is like lemon drops, like that same category to me. And all that, but they were very good.
And for any people that care, the Mavericks won tonight, 108 to 105.
All right, sunflower seeds were good. You know, you had to go through that era in your life, just spitting them shits all over the fucking floor, and everything else and all that. They were all good and stuff like that and everything. Yeah, no Diddy on that shit, man. No
sure,
Diddy.
You can suck it. No Diddy. Rice Krispie treats are really good, especially like
it's not a candy though. We can't put them in that category.
Yeah, it's more of like a snack thing. Then we'd have to bring in like the Hostesses and then in the Little Debbie.
Yeah, that goes to Hostess and Little Debbie's and shit like that. Then you're gonna start talking that. That's a different. That's not candy. You can't bring that in. That's not fair. It's Smarties. Fuck Smarties. Smarties is like Sweet Tarts. They suck. Damn Smarties. Mary Jane. Worst candy, and Chuckles.
How about
Chuckles,
like Laffy Taffy?
Chuckles is the worst candy ever fucking made. Chuckles,
I don't even know. I'm not sure I even know what Chuckles are.
Oh my god, they're disgusting fucking Chuckles. Disgusting. That was the worst fucking candy ever invented. It should have never been invented. Disgusting. Whoever ate a Chuckle is nasty.
Chuckles. It sounds like a comedy.
Oh, it's disgusting. A Chuckle. No one wanted those. No one wanted them damn Chuckles. That's like a Mary Jane.
Okay. This is a random one, Tony. But do you know what candy I ate a lot when I was a kid? It wasn't even a candy. It was like the Smith Brothers cough drops, the cherry cough drops. They came in like this white package.
The Ludens.
Yeah, whatever they were. Like
Ludens. Ludens is what they were.
I used to get those goddamn cough drops all the time. They were addictively cherry.
That cherry, especially that Ludens cherry, is just candy.
Yeah,
that shit did nothing for your throat.
No,
it didn't do anything. It's like a fucking Flintstone vitamin. You know, like Flintstone vitamin. I take the whole thing and dump it in my mouth and eat 50 Flintstone vitamins.
Taste delicious. It tastes delicious.
Yeah, like I got the Flintstone
10,000 strong and growing, Tony.
Yeah, I put them all in my face. But mom be like, you only need to take one a day. I took 50. I took the whole pack of Flintstone vitamins and sucked those things down.
Yeah, Julie, I was all about those things. I would get those things constantly. They were bad.
Yeah, them shits were they had nothing to do with fucking.
No, there was nothing medicinal about
It was
those.
in the candy section. It was
They were like right under the gum, right with like the nerds and stuff.
Yeah, that fucking they may have said it was no. I know Halls is a cough drop. You know the difference.
Yeah. When you feel a Hall, you take a Halls, your whole throat. It's like
you know the difference. The fucking looters,
the Mentaliptus or whatever they put in that crap. You know.
Yeah, those Flintstone vitamins, boy. I tore those things. Yeah, we forgot them. We didn't even bring up Lifesavers.
Lifesavers are good. You know?
Yeah, we should have brought them up because it's a candy that everyone.
It's a staple. It's a staple.
Like you just take it and bite it. To be sticking together,
especially the wintergreen ones when you do that and it's a spark and shit.
Oh, used to go through them. And then I have it. It's a red one, eat it. Yellow one, give it to your friend.
Yep. Yellow and orange ones or whatever you give to your
friend. The red one will smile.
The reds and the grape ones. The grape ones are really good too.
Yep. But yeah, y'all can have that yellow one. Y'all can have that shit. That's the way it would be. You say your friend be like, yo, let me get one of them Lifesavers. Like, all right, you open up and see the red one. Yup, you got the next one.
Yep, exactly. But it was always like playing a game of Russian roulette there because it'd be like, oh, which one am I gonna get? You're like, can I have one? Yep.
Yeah, you ain't getting that. You ain't getting that. So
do you know what I was never into? But occasionally, if I have the right flavor, there is Mentos. I never really liked the Mentos.
I never liked the Mentos either. I'm with you on that. I was never a Mentos. I'm never a Butterfinger guy either. I never liked Butterfinger.
No, I didn't want to put a finger on a Butterfinger.
Butterfingers. I know Bart Simpson made them famous, but I never liked Butterfingers. Never liked them. Never.
Not my thing either. I like Charleston Chews.
Remember Charleston Chews was good. That was the strawberry one. The strawberry.
Oh, dude, it was huge. It was huge. Yeah. It was huge.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
That shit was delicious, man.
I know we're talking about stuff that has nothing.
No, but I mean, people are sticking around.
I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Sugar daddy, yeah, I remember people always sugar babies were better. I like sugar daddy better than sugar babies. I did. I remember the people used to always make jokes. Oh, you put a Q-tip in your ear and you pulled out a sugar daddy. That was like a joke in 6th grade. That was funny and stuff like that. But yeah, sugar daddies was just caramel on a stick. I mean, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with that. It's like the caramel chews and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with.
And then speaking of that with the caramels, like whenever I go into a box of chocolates, and that's the one I'm hoping for. I'm looking for that caramel one because those are freaking delicious. And Muhammad, I'm all about the Milky Way. Out of the 3. Even though I know Snickers will get the love, 3 Musketeers, Milky Way, and Snickers. Milky Way is my favorite of the 3. But
call away Kit Kat. We didn't bring up Kit Kat. Kit
Kats are great.
It's hard to go against that.
Are you a Kit Kat or a Twix person, Tony?
I can't tell you that. It's not fair to ask me.
I'm asking you the damn question.
There's nothing to ask. You can't. Kit Kats are unbelievable. You know, unbelievable. It's a recipe that you don't have to do anything. You leave it alone, and it's perfect the way it is.
The crisp, the pop.
It just works. It just works. It's perfect. It works. I like Mars bars. I was a Mars bar guy. I like the almonds better than Snickers and all that. I was always a Mars bar guy. Pause on that in case anyone's thinking something crazy. But I was always a Mars bar. But as for Kit Kat or Twix. It's Twix is great. But Kit Kat, it's just too perfect. It's just like Twix are great.
How do you eat the Kit Kat? Do you take each one of the 4 off, or do you just eat it in as?
No, I gotta take it off.
Yeah, take each 4 off.
I'm
the same way. I take all 4. I remember the first time I saw someone just unwrap it and eat it all. Like I thought it was like,
you can't just bite.
I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's like eating a slice of pizza backwards. It's like, what are you doing,
bro? You gotta break that shit off. That's the only way you eat a damn Kit Kat. And they got the big cat and everything else. But Kit Kat is so good, you don't only have to change it. Twix has a lot of different variations: peanut butter Twix, regular Twix, and it's that cookies and cream Twix is amazing.
I also have to add certain candies taste exceptionally good in the Halloween bite-size variety.
Yeah,
the middle size of Milky Ways, not the bite size, the tiny ones, those ones that are about, like the mini Milky Way ones that have been around forever, that are about like an inch long or something like that. Those are the most delicious Milky. Like I could eat those endlessly. And
fuck those Fifth Avenue bars. No one likes those shits. The Fifth Avenue bars.
Mini
suck.
Twix are also really delicious, like the mini Twix. Those.
All right, so let's get Rebel.
Thank you, Rebel. I'm sorry.
Ready. All right, let's go back, bro. He's ready to get.
Let's get back.
Do you think we get a flashback of most of the characters, mainly Jade? Have we gotten flashbacks? We got one of Victor, and I think that's to serve the story of Victor. I don't know if it's important to get. We got Boyd's with his wife. That was duly because of his wife. They had to tell that story of what happened to her and why she's not there anymore, how she died. I don't know if anyone else's story constitutes you having to get a flashback of them.
Yeah.
Unless Donna's the mole and you give a flashback of her coming into town with the scientists and everything else like that. But everyone else that we've seen, if you go through the characters, we know Jade's story. Nothing that he did before constitutes to him being there now. Kenny's story, we don't really need to know anything about him to get there. We already know what's going on with the nurse's story with the girlfriend. We don't need to have that there. So it would be Donna more than anything if they wanted to do a flashback like that. But besides that, I don't think so. What do you think?
I think a lot everything you said, and I also think it's a matter of time too, if they want to dedicate time to those kind of things and how far they want to explore the characters, or are they working more to explore the place? I mean, the shows that have done things like that where we get lots of flashbacks of each characters, Orange is the New Black, Lost, both do that kind of where, you know, every episode has a B story with a character.
They got to show them how they got locked up.
Exactly. And in Lost, they have to show them how they get to the island. On this, they don't really do that. They don't really show you how each one of these characters got there. The only one we really follow were the Matthews. We're following the Matthews perspective into this place, and then Boyd takes over when we get in there as our de facto leader, but we're still looking at it through the Matthews eyes, just getting there. So unless they I don't think this show sort of set itself up to be the kind of show that's going to give us flash sideways and flashbacks to each one of our characters. I think it's more going to be, as you were saying, Tony, in select situations when it fits the plot that they're telling. If something happens that deals with something that Jade's dealing with in the moment, we may get a flash to something he's thinking about his past, but I don't think the show itself is going to use flashbacks as a device. At least they haven't so far big time yet. They haven't really.
Yeah, I mean, Victor, maybe you get something else with him, but I think that kind of cleared up a lot of his story. You don't really need to do it. Luna says we didn't get Fatima's story about where she was going. We did not get that. I mean, Fatima's the mole. You could get a flashback of her doing that, coming in there and everything else. You could have.
I mean, I would love to see it on all the characters, Tony. I don't know about you, but I would love to, but I just don't think they're gonna.
We've seen Boyd coming in there. We've seen him driving in there when he first got in there. We've seen all that. We need to see that. I don't, Donna told her story. She's not going to show it because they told it, but they won't show it. They won't show that
unless she's lying.
So I don't know if it's that important to get that. You know what I mean, and everything else. I had bazooka gum. People still talking about that. I just bought some bazooka gum the other day. I just bought some.
It's definitely good. I used to again to
Tony's flavor goes away in 2 bites. 2 bites.
And to your point, Tony, about like the noun laters, when Bazooka Joe is stale and crunchy, it's not as good as when you get the fresh Bazooka Joe and it's like.
You get the little comic book in it, and you get to read it, and it's got your fortune underneath it. It's cutting edge back then.
Oh, and we were talking about the Gator gum before, the Gatorade gum. That also had like maybe a 30-second half-life, but those 30 seconds you were in heaven.
It was so tangy that it just hits you like for a second, your body shook, but it was good.
Oh, speaking of tangy or sour stuff, and we'll get back to from in a second. Were you a Sour Patch Kid person, or did you go?
Not a big on it. I wasn't big on it. And thank you for Sozy Mania for the gift of the membership. Thank whoever is the member. Shay is a new member. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, Sozy Mania, for donating that, and it's very, very nice of you. appreciate that.
Julie adds, Donna told her story in so much detail that it wouldn't make sense to make time for a flashback unless she was lying.
Yeah, that would be the only way. That's the only way. You know, you got to look at why they do flashbacks and what it is. It is to cover up plot holes that could come in and to clarify situations so that you didn't have it. You know what I mean? And everything.
Oh, thank you, Crypto. I was trying to think of that before, Crypto. Push pops. Yeah, push pops are also really amazing.
Yeah, they were kind of for girls. I mean, I wasn't a push pop person. Put your finger in that fucker. I wasn't about the push pop.
You were more at the ring pop.
Yeah, I was ring pop, but I couldn't do the push pop. I was more ring pop. To me, the push pop was all the girls had the push pop.
I was doubling
and
that.
I was happy that they had them. But that was they all had. I was definitely a ring pop motherfucker. There's no doubt about it. The big diamond, baby. The big diamond.
Yeah.
But then you wear it, and it has a little diamond at the end of it. The little plastic diamond underneath it, and so you can still rock it after you were done eating.
And you have that all day at school, totally.
All right. Luna's asking, Tony and Phil, when you were a kid, what did you get from the popsicle truck? I had the Mr. Softy truck. Was around my way. We had Mr. Softy was the name of my truck out there, and I always constantly, if I had the money, because it was the most expensive thing, got the strawberry sundae. Strawberry sundae was my thing. I think Mr. Softy truck, you know. But they also had the dip cone, like you put the hard cone in there, and you can put the whole. They had that. I don't get the hard. When you had no money, you got the bomb pop. That was it. You got the bomb.
Yeah, it was the cheapest one. The cheapest one.
Yeah, the bomb pop was the.
I would get that one that had like was the bomb pop the one that had the piece of gum at the bottom of it?
No, the piece of gum. No,
I would get that one. There was
it was like red, white, and blue and shit.
Okay, yeah, it was red. Oh, it was the red, white, and blue popsicle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would get this one that had a piece of gum at the bottom. It was like sherbet-ish, and it had like a piece of bubble, like a gum ball, which is another thing I really liked when I was a kid. Red gum balls. Mm-hmm. I was all about getting to your point. You put money in a gumball machine and you like spin the thing. And you're like, I better get a goddamn red one and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had
blow pops as well. Someone said blow pops. I was all about blow pops.
Yeah, blow pops deserves to be mentioned when I shout out. Baskin Robbins had an ice cream with gum in it, or bubble gum in it. It had a bubble gum ice cream. I used to always get that in Baskin Robbins.
Dude, I totally fucking forgot. Yeah, totally forgot about that.
Always get that.
But usually I would get something called a hoodsie. I don't know if anyone knows what those are. It's like the little chocolate. It's a little thing that had like the chocolate and vanilla. It was also pretty cheap there on the ice cream truck. But I would get the hoodsie or the bubble gum thing.
This Bill D says MGM. Missing and gone. All that marketing for missing persons. Posters issued by MGM was great, but the photos of the missing were taken of them in Fromville. It was, but it was a marketing scheme. So you got to look at it like that. They were trying to market the show. They used pictures from the show. You're not going to use headshots of the actors going for the show. So the only pictures they had of these actors was of them that in the show. Yeah. So in the town, so that's why they use those. You're not going to use Harold headshot that he goes around casting and stuff. They sell that, so they had to use the pictures from in Fromville. That's why they used them. That's the only reason why they used them. There was no more than that. Cracker Jack was good. Can't front on Cracker Jacks. Did disappoint you when you didn't get no good toy in the bottom, but you can't front on that and everything else like that. Can't front on the Cracker, but that's not a candy. It's a different.
No. If we're talking like ice cream snacks or frozen snacks, you get in like supermarket. There's those WWF bars with the crunchy cookies.
Those are the best. The WWF bar was taken over. The M&M, the M&M cookie took the whole WWF bar.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, like the two giant cookies. And yeah. And also, when I was a kid, I was all about the Jell-O pudding pops as well. Those things are fucking delicious, dude.
He said, if KP's like, we still talking about skin. No, we're done. We're done right now today. We're getting out of here. I'm getting out of here right now. I had a great time. Drinking's going. Been out here for 3 hours rocking with you. We'll come back later on this week. Maybe I'll come out here on Thursday. That's tomorrow. No, it's not going to be that. Maybe Friday, Saturday night or something like that.
Ice cream sandwiches too.
I like ice cream sandwich. Listen, if you talk about ice cream, toasted almond bar was amazing.
Oh, it's delicious.
Toasted almond bar. But
The drumsticks were good back in the day. I love the cones that have the chocolate at the bottom of the cone, like the.
Yep. I used to bite the bottom of the cone. I'd bite.
Yeah, me too. I can give a crap less for that ice cream. I mean that goddamn cone.
That's the best part. All right, thank you for everywhere. Toasted almond bars was amazing. If y'all don't know what that is, then I don't know where you're from. Now, let me thank everybody for joining us. We'll be back. You know what I mean? What was the end of the poll? Did we get the
we get at this point with 117 votes, 74% town and 26% Colony House.
There you go. Listen, we know the 26% are freaky deaky. All right. And that is what it is and stuff like that. So let me thank everyone for joining us. Thank you. Phil, you got anything coming up on your channel, baby?
Yeah, next Tuesday coming up. I might go on before this, but next Tuesday, Matt and I are doing the season premiere of season 5 of The Sopranos, and coming up, I'll be talking about House of the Dragon after episodes air, and babbling about that. Like less than a month.
Yeah, less than a month. It's Memorial Day weekend. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope if you're in the United States and you got a 3-day weekend, enjoy it, spend it with your family, your friends. Enjoy your time. We'll be back, I promise you. Maybe Saturday. You know what I mean? I'll be back Saturday, and I usually do it Sunday, but maybe we'll come a day early for y'all and everything else. Like the way I do is please thumbs up this across pause. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the world, of course, subscribe. And until next time, no motherfucking Diddy. Peace. Call away. Take us away.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Now I have children of my own.